not just me, but me and her at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So until then, guys, paka paka.
Paka paka.
Welcome to the close, and what an exciting close it will be. Want to welcome you back to our show. As the market movers did a fantastic job there, and we're going to open things up. I'm going to get to how the market is doing in a second, but we actually hit 20 million views since being on YouTube. I just found that out less than a minute ago, so pretty excited. I hit a key, but I don't have any of the fun ones here. The market is celebrating for us. NASDAQ, Dow, S&P, all up over 1.5%. Hey, the TSX is up almost full 2%. I don't know what's going on over there in Brazil, but they're lagging down here. Crude oil has recovered, was down 4% yesterday, up 4% here today. You're going to see both Bitcoin and Ethereum holding on to some early morning gains. Overall, pretty solid start to the session. Just looking at the overall heat map, well, you're not going to see a lot of red here. What's going to stand out? If we're getting a bit of a rally post Omicron variant, and yeah, you might see some weakness over here. Pfizer and Moderna both downside. Pfizer down almost 4% on the session. Moderna almost just over 2% overall. Across the board, you're just going to see gigantic gains. It doesn't matter what sector you want to pick, but going to highlight things here with consumer discretionary. I mean, you got Penn up 8%. Carnival Cruise Lines almost 8% to the upside. MGM, Wynn both over 6%. It's been strong for the recovery names, but you can't sleep on what's going on with the chips. You've got Micron, blowout earnings, up 10% on the session, basically shrugging off some of those supply chain concerns. Very, very strong move for them. Nike had blowout earnings as well. They're looking very strong. Just can't really complain too much about anything on a day like today. Although I did note, worth noting here, if it's going to let me go to the NASDAQ every now and then, I got to do the whole load. Yeah, I was going to say that we already know Apple today has been not nearly as strong as some of the rest of the index. It's only up about 1% on the session. We are expecting, there we go. We just finally had it load up. You're going to see a lot of these beaten up names. And it's a better look at the semiconductors here. AMD 5%, AMD, Nvidia 3.5%. And a lot of those high flying names in the NASDAQ 100 that have been, and some of them have been in bear territory, are going to be incredibly, incredibly strong here, guys. So an unbelievable start to this session. There's a heck of a lot for us to talk to. We are I don't know why the countdown just came on. We are expecting President Biden will be talking at some point this afternoon to discuss the Omicron variant. The positive news that's rallied us in the market a little bit early in the session was the FDA approving both the Pfizer and the Merck pill. So both of those pills have gotten FDA approval. Pfizer's has incredible efficacy, although not really affecting Pfizer stock, unfortunately. But that is good news for the overall market. That is good news for the recovery. Hopefully we're getting a bit of a Santa Claus rally here today. Talked a little bit about earnings this morning. You know what we like to do here. We like to review trades. We like to learn from the experiences of the morning. Sean has a fantastic one as Nike was just doing it this morning.
Let's just do it on this trade, Neil. You're 100% right. It's Nike. And this one's more of like a lesson rather than, oh my God, this is like the best trade ever. So let's start with that. Let's think about why we traded Nike. And I think that's really what I want to focus on right here is why did we look at Nike? And I just bring this up. It was also on our watch list. Make sure you get it. Watchlist.tradertv.live, as well as over here on my Trader TV Sean Twitter account. Make sure you get those all right. There's a lot of fakes out there. Please make sure you get that right. You can see here Nike. We just thought it was a good report. Supply chain obviously still an issue. Those still exist. But digital sales up 12%, right? Should be a long day. Need to find support. So that was the key thing for me, right? And I just want to bring everyone's attention that often we get carried away and you start to trade names early on in the day when there's really nothing to trade off of. Look at Nike here early. How much, I mean, I could have zoomed in for this, but just look at all the back and forth that happens here on Nike. And we said it right on our note that we need to find a level. Where is there going to be a level? Because as it goes, like it went up to 172 early and then dropped right back to 167. That's $5 for no reason, out of nowhere. That hurts us day traders because $5, depending on your share size, that may stop you out. And you just want to go long, and you're going to be right today. Nike today up 7%, so the long appears to be fine. And that's exactly what we did. We waited for this to base out. That's basically as simple as can be. It comes down, and we find a level here at 165. It doesn't breach it ever. It breaches it one time when we're sitting down here at 70. We're able to get that, but we first take the long at 165, take another dip down, and then it just starts to rise up. The idea here, forget about all these outs. I put these lines here. The first out is at 25. We're long a mix of 65 and 70, so we've got about 85. So 164.85 is our average price. So it pops up right there. Instantly, within the first couple minutes of the trade, we're taking 50 cents out. I'm always getting out 25, 15, 40 cents out. So we're always taking out at those even quarter levels, right? So here's another one right here, 166.50. Sorry, 165.50 right there. The next line, 166.50, out in front of that. So we're just staging it out. It doesn't look like it's a big winner, but I guess it is. That's $2 right there. And then we top out to 169. We still have a piece on. I'm still holding some of this Nike trade. The reason why, I just want to see it retest these levels. The market's going upside. Nike's not really following it. So I think that hopefully there's some late day get up in Nike and we get back to this 169. The reason why we didn't get it out up here, we're just trying to hit that home run, baby. We've got a quarter left, so 25, 50, 75, good trade. And this is just to show you, some of you guys on PDT, you can't trade. Some of the trades I show up here, sure, it's great. Like we take Palantir and we have 70 outs or something like that, right? Overall, this is a very, very simple structured trade where you wait for Nike to fall down. We already have the long bias. We've done that sort of work, but we find a level there. Really nothing to do with the pre-market. Just let it base down, give us the trade. Volume not bad, and now we start to go back up to the upside, bouncing around VWAP right here. So we still have a piece on for this one. It's about $2.50 or so in the money right now, but it's a good trade, and I'm just showing you that you can be one in, although I have two fills, you could be one and done here. Wait for key levels. We've had a mistake on Rivian. We got in too early, and then it dropped. For Nike, we wait. Patience pays, and it's your trade of the day. Just do it.
And just do it. Always sign up for our daily watch list. You will find Nike on it. You will find Micron as well. I know Micron was also on this sticky note. And you can sign up via the QR code. You can scan that every single morning. We go through what is moving, what is actionable, what do you want to be trading as an active trader. And we like to take the opportunity here to go over some of those types of names. And one of them here, and I'm just going to pop to my screen, Micron. As we saw on the heat map, actually crossing the 10% up. It was up 10%, now up 10.5% on the session. Trade, it was 6% pre-market. They beat earnings estimates, top and bottom line. Revenue was a small beat, but EPS and adjusted was 216 versus 210. They had a 33.3% year-over-year increase in revenues. There was a dip to be had at the open, and then it was another higher low that got put in an aggressive dip. And since then, it's been straight to the upside, looking incredibly strong here with Micron. Yes, we know the market has been moving pretty well, but you can't ignore 10% on Micron here. Pretty strong movement already, Arun, that we're seeing in Micron going into the final couple of hours of the day.
Yeah, well, Micron is interesting, but I think what's more interesting is what Sean's got for us. Sean, I know you've got some trades for us that you want to talk about.
I played forward this morning.
There you go.
Played forward on the dip.
Okay, Sean with some trades here. Okay, well, why don't you go through the trade and talk about it.
Pulled 21 cents out of here and watched the bounce. Didn't take the bounce as high, but played just this nice dip this morning. And it's coming back this afternoon, but that was my play.
So you're long?
No, it was short here.
Oh, you went short. What's the price? Do you know?
Not now. On my phone.
Sean went short. He's riding the short up about, what, 15, 16 cents on Ford right now? Ish. And looking like it wants to go sideways. So there you go, Sean's position on Ford right now. I'm carrying Boeing from this morning and Caterpillar on the short side. So those are our two trades coming into the day. But it does look like Micron. We did have this earlier, though. The issue with Micron was that it really was stalling out around that 89. That gave us pause. I think Sean had it. I had it. We both had around this price. I had 88.5. I think Sean had 87.5. and it kind of went up to 90, failed a couple times, and then as soon as it cracked 89, I just got out. And here we go, almost at 91 on Micron, up 10.75% on the day. So quite the mover, but it was like it took a while to get there. Sean, what do you think about Micron, the way it's moving?
A little fast for me.
A little fast for him.
We have a little volume on the break, though?
Well, I don't have the volume up here.
Hold the volume up. See if it'll make a move.
There you go. Just type in Micron on your thing.
Where are we going? Right here.
Yeah, just go MU.
MU.
Yeah, just enter it.
Why is it not going?
And then NASDAQ. Tab. NQ.
Why is it not going? There we go.
All right, we'll get to it.
We'll get
Sean's
to it.
getting there. Sean's getting there. He's going to take his time with it, but we are still riding that Boeing trade from this morning. It's gone sideways. Just to show what I did with Boeing, I went long just north of 190. It obviously ran up, and now it's stalling out in front of 200, even though this market has gone completely to the upside. Absolute fire. Anyone who's looking for a Santa Claus rally that was asking for it this morning as the futures were falling, here you go, up almost 2% on the NASDAQ, running strong, has taken out any resistance levels that we've had. So someone was asking during Pratt's show, what am I going to do? I'm going to look for some longs if we can just dip a little bit. I was trying to get some 26s in there, but it was a little too late for the long on the futures. But now here we are at 30, getting a little late in the session for me to start looking for longs at this point, or leaving the orders out there. But I think if we dip enough, I can definitely go for longs. You have a
Volume's a little thin on the break. It's 80s. Spreads 4 cents. I mean, volume's a little thin this afternoon, a little quiet, but this is what it is.
So you believe it? You don't believe the break?
I don't believe it. No.
You don't believe it?
I'm going to hang
Sean's
on.
play on Micron is he does not believe
I'm gonna hang
the
on and wait.
breakout, and he's going to wait it out.
I'm going to wait it out. It's not moving where I want it to be.
Neil, you have something
Just
for us?
hovering around. It's not going to go very far.
Tired yet or what?
Oh, yeah.
Back to Neil.
Trader TV Randy, never a dull moment there. We're gonna go down and some other names from the morning, but the CMMB. I'm looking at Chemomab Therapeutics here. I'm just seeing a lot of social media hype on this name. Just was trying to find some additional news. I know there was a story here yesterday, and they had a bit of a partnership with H.C. Wainwright at BioConnect, and we'll get that one to you in a quick little second. Just watch CMMB, bit of a mover, but Nvidia. Incredibly strong this morning. And look, the story was pretty simple. Named top pick at UBS. Obviously, it had a bit of a pullback. It's had a bit of a pullback here, as you can sort of see off of those 340, 350 area highs. Double bottom. This is an interesting one because as strong as the market is here today, Nvidia didn't just pull back lightly at the open. It really dipped before going. So very, very tricky one to trade. It did come into this 273 to 275 area. But yeah, that had to fall pretty far before it bounced.
For anyone who was wondering who that was on the desk, that was Swan. Remember in the poll we had Arun Pugh, and Swan? That was Swan for you guys. You guys asked for him. We got him there. There you go. His comments on Micron and Ford. Nvidia, Sean, both you and I both had
Where are
this.
you going, Pratt?
Both you and I had it as Pratt takes off because he's got to catch the bus.
I actually hate Nvidia.
You hate Nvidia? Well, I mean, you made some money on this too, though. I rode the short, you rode the long, and you made some money as well, right?
I feel like Swan over here. No, but yeah, so this is me, Arun. It's like buy, sell, buy, a little bit of garbage right in here, buy some more, and then eventually getting ticked out at, this is why I hate it, out at 277, which seems to be a good out, man. I mean, we went down to 274. I know you were short. And then this is why I hate it, because 1, 2, 3, 4, like I'm 4 times here long, and now we're all the way up to 288. Monster move for Nvidia, and your boy ain't got anything on board. So that's why I don't like it, but it was a great trade. Where did you finally... You held too long, I think, right? Or where did you get out? 278?
I managed that properly.
Yeah.
To me, at least. I got some out in front of 281, and then, it bounced off of 284, but the trail was 278, got out of the short, so we still made like $6 on the second half. But the key level was this entire short was built on the 290 as resistance. Now we're kind of going right up against it, so I wouldn't mind the long north of 290. Now, the shorts are still open, but we got to get down below 283 for me to kind of go for the short. But I think 290 is the break there. Anything north of 290, you go for the long. Nvidia has done quite the reversal. It's a huge reversal day. From 286 to 274, $12 down, and then from 274 back up nearly $15 up. If we take 290, I think you set up a nice little daily reversal. With the futures doing what they're doing, you got to say that tech strength is there, especially in Nvidia, with this kind of a move today.
New Sean, I'm just reading that. People saying Swan, yeah, that's hilarious. And what did I tell you was going to happen today? He's back, baby. He's in the building. Santa Claus is in the building right now. So a good trade here. I was tweeting out Santa Claus rally today, and you guys know that I've been talking about this for a while. So nice to see here Santa Claus rally back in the mood. AMD well up as well, 143. That stock just keeps on pumping as well. Some early issues early on. I would have had the same fate, man. I mean, I would have got stopped out probably. Maybe not. This one actually had some base here. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nice move upside for AMD, and I believe these are the right names, man. I mean, if you've been following me on Twitter, all I've been doing is talking about buying, AMD's, Roblox's, the Roblox, not AMD, sorry, Nvidia. We're already long in AMD, and we've been recently buying some Meta as well. So I really do believe in this push forward in the metaverse, despite what Elon Musk has to say about it. But hey, look, I'm a huge fan of a lot of these names. AMD continues to work. The other one was Global Foundries. I wanted to have a look at that. Honestly, I know Neil's said the bull case for Intel is very similar to GFS here, but as you can see, these are not the same kind of movers as an Nvidia or as a AMD. So you hold these for different reasons. But Global Foundry is still up a nice little percentage spot today. And then let's just check in on Intel quickly, probably up 2% or something as well. Yeah, 2% on Intel. So all the chip names today getting some love, obviously, from Micron there. So nice movement upside for Micron, up 11%. And again, I know Evil Sean was on the show there for a second, but that bottom at 87 and change, wow. Now we're up to 91. And I know you and I, Arun, both had a very similar out here once we broke back down below 89. Still a $1.50 winner, but 91 is a hell of a lot better than 89. So there it goes, the upside. Micron and a lot of the other chip names catching wind.
Nvidia just took out 290. That's going to be the interesting level. What time is it? It's like 2:17. Do I still want to go for Nvidia long this late in the day after an extended rally?
This ain't late.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to wait to see a little bit more information on this before I go for the long. I might still do it, but I'll wait a little bit.
Peer pressure not working.
No. Come on, fire it up there. I'm going to do 2 for 1 here because Sean, people were asking you in the chat. They're like, "Why are you long Nikola?" And Nikola had support. And I know it's been an interesting trade there. I know it's a winning trade, but there was news. They settled an SEC investigation for $125 million, which is not a heck of a lot of money. And that's one of the reasons they had a positive catalyst. So we can talk about that. The other one I wanted to get to here is this Reliance Global Group. Look. It's RELI, and I'm an old head trading, so I understand it's Reliance, but Reli just sounds way better when I'm looking at a 4-digit code. It was a big runner in the morning. I know you guys were looking at it to the long side. I waited for the halt and then the double top and then the short. But this one's starting to taper off in terms of volume. So a couple of trades from this morning. There's some other movers right now, that BFRI, which looks pretty good, that is not as dead as Reli is, but Nikola and Reli. Morning movers that have really calmed down a little bit here.
Tends to happen though. All these hot names that move, once they're done their extension or they hit a resistance level, anyone who wants to buy is just done. Because these movers are moving so fast. Think about it, right? Reli started off, let me get the actual chart up here, the daily. Based on the way it was moving this morning, it was at $4 at 4 o'clock this morning. And then we end the day at $8, or just north of $8, or we got as high as $8. We started trading, Sean and I both started trading around 7. He had 686, I had 7 even exactly, and then got some out at 8 and change. But you could tell that 8 was going to provide some resistance. So once that came into play and we kind of just tapered off, there was no volume coming back. Now you might get a late session move, but again, it's got to be one of those quick flashes and then it's done kind of situations. Is this going to be a multi-day thing? It can be if you're investing for it, sure. But we're trading for it. So for us, volume dies down. We move away from the stock. And then when volume picks back up or it breaks new levels, we step back in. So Reli, one of those names, great in the morning just because it was really hot. Volume was there. And now with 8 even as resistance, we've backed away. I backed away as soon as I got out south of 680. On the second half of the position, and then here we are at 544. There could be a secondary move, but I think we just got to clear that 820 something. What is that, 830 maybe on the top? That's the high for the day. Once we clear that, we might get some action.
Sounds like Neil doing his best Brendan impression over there, dropping something over there. Okay, so I don't even remember oh yeah, Nicola. And I knew, we talked about this on the opening show, that I knew I was going to catch some slack for this, but it's the $9 support area plus the news that Neil was talking about, which is why we're into Nicola. And I mean, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is a day trading show. So I do not, by any stretch of the imagination, I mean, I've already made 200 trades today, believe it or not. So I mean, right in here is 15 or 10 or so in Nicola. We bought it one time. We should have bought this bottom. I'm actually surprised that I wasn't sitting here. I was probably sitting a bit lower. Like I said, unfortunately, I can't recall exactly right now. I do not recall. But, you know, we should have been longer down there. But now it's just floating to the upside. This is what Nicola looks like on the 20-minute. We've defended $9 a bunch of times. And then even here, if I can ever find a daily chart as well, I'll show you the same thing down here on a daily chart. We've just defended 9. It hasn't broke 9. So that's what we're doing with. We're dealing with that price, and that's sort of the levels of concern for me. So Nicola, that's why we went long. We got some support, and now, hey, look at that. We're 14 cents in the money now on Nicola. How? Check that, 15 cents now in the money on it. So, hey, it's been a good trade for me, but right, as a day trade only, I don't think like this is the all clear for, you know, a Nicola long at this point. I don't really like the EV space, to be honest with you right now. That BBB plan for America, it looks like that's going to get shelved. So some EV credits, you know, being removed on that side of things. So I'm not in love with the space right now, but Nicola has support at that 9. So I don't think there's anything wrong with going long around those prices.
Go long, go short, buy the dip. All terms that you guys have probably heard if you've been following active traders before. Traders have all kinds of lingo that are used on a daily basis, even here on our live program. And sometimes you've heard of them, sometimes you haven't. Today, we want to go over a few of our favorite trading terms for everyone's deeper understanding. So when they get thrown around, you understand what they mean and why they might be important. I've named a few here, guys, and just to tee it off, I know we've been sitting on floors for a very long time, and there's things that we will say without thinking twice about them. And really, you know, it's important to try to have people understand what these terms mean so that they're not just sort of being misused or misinterpreted on a daily basis. It's always important to get the terminology down when you make something your profession. Correct,
yeah, so here's your chance. So you're sitting around the table, you know, it's Christmas, everyone's talking about the stock market, at least that's what happens at my house. And people want to say, okay, let's talk about some terminology here, because I'm hearing everybody say right now that the market is in bull or bear territory. And right now, you know, those are some common terms that I often hear misused, believe it or not. And I think it's because we're not quite sure on the definition. I don't have anything written down here for the definition because it's pretty simple. And it's just a bear. First of all, bull market, let's start with bear. Bear market is 20% off of recent highs, and we're talking about the market. So it's generally spoken when you're dealing with the S&P 500, not the NASDAQ. But if you say the NASDAQ's in bear market, then you're right. We only have a few instances from 2000 where there's been a bear market. There was one over here in 2000 where, you know, we had the dot-com bubble, things like that started to burst. So we go from, you know, down to down. This is 1024. These are the markers of the S&P. So all the way about, you know, 1,500 or so down here to 8 and change, right? That's going to be 20%, followed by a bull market. Then you have the bear market in 2008, where we drop, I think it was 30-something% all the way to the downside, or even more than that, sorry, 1,500 down to 666, the very famous bottom there. So we get chopped all the way down. That is a bear market. So we even put the little symbols up here, guys. And again, credit to realinvestmentadvice.com giving us this. And then the bull market is a rally. So what the bull market means is actually a sustained rally of ever increasing prices. So that could be, there could be a bull market in the commodities. There could be a bear market in not Forex, but some Forex, Turkish lira, bear market. So bear market is 20% down with negative sentiment. So people are generally negative on the market, but you need to hit that 20% marker. A bullish market has nothing to do with percentages or anything like that. It's just continuously, month over month, increasing prices. So some would say now that we've been in one of the longest bull markets where you don't get even a pullback in here of more than 10%. So a bull market straight to the upside. A bear market has the more exact definition, guys, of 20% from its most recent high. So that's a bear market, and a bull market is just rolling forward, all ships ahead.
Yeah, and that's the bull and bear market scenario. Now I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into when you have something like this. I'm going to focus in on the level 2 here, top left of my screen. The level 2 prices, level 1 prices, you might hear that often. What those refer to, now the level 1 price is the best bid and the best offer, or the NBBO, National Best Bid and Offer, right? Those are the top level prices. That's where the buyers are sitting. That's where the sellers are sitting. In this case, on Bank of America, buyers are sitting at 44.23. Offers are at 44.24. That, just ignore the rest of the bottom. Just where you see where the green is flashing, that's the best bid, and right beside it is the best offer. That's the level 1 price. Now, if you dig deeper, the level 2 price now goes into how much volume is sitting and everything below that. So including market depth and all price levels below the best bid. So 44.22, 44.21, the lower you get, the more there is. I'll dig this deeper. Here you go. These are all the level 2 prices with their corresponding sizes. So when we talk about, what's the level 1 price? What's the current trading price? Where's the best bid? Where's the best offer? And then when you look at level 2 prices, it's everything deeper than that, looking at volume, looking at sizes, and the different ECNs that we're looking at. Now, for us, we have access to a ton of ECNs, right? You can see everything here. You see EDGX, NSB, MEMX, BATS, PhilX. We have IEX in there as well, but BATY, BYX. They're all part of the level 2 size. So anytime you go to get a fill, let's just say you hit the market order, your broker, based on the SEC rules, has to fill at the best offer or the best bid. So they have to go to the level 1 price, and then if they run through enough volume, they move on to the next offer. So if in this case, you say you want to buy 10,000 shares. Now there's not 10,000 on the offer here on Bank of America, but if you hit a market order, they will take everything they possibly can at 26 before moving on. That's why when you send an aggressive limit order, let's say I send an order for 44.30, they have to go in sequence on what's available first. 27 is available first. Then they'll move to 28. Then they'll fill whatever hasn't been filled at 29. They're not going to just skip the line and give you 44.30. That's not how the rules are set up for fills. So in terms of level 1 prices, level 2 prices, that's where you're looking at the best bid, best offer. That's your level 1. And then anything past that, including volume and depth, is going to be level 2.
Exactly, and we could go all day when it comes to trading terms here. Obviously, we can turn this into a regular thing. I'll give you one last one because I say it all the time very quickly, and it's capitulation. Really, it's just the act of surrendering or ceasing to resist an opponent or demand. Look, the dictionary definition doesn't matter. In a trading sense, capitulation simply means when the bid or the ask gives up. You saw that level 2 there. If you have downward movement in a stock or an upward move, and there's buying and selling on the way up, there's buying and selling on the way down. When that bid ceases to exist or grinds to nothing, or the offer in the case of a short squeeze, that's when there's a capitulation on one side and you get exacerbated moves. That's where you see those halt trades. That's where you see circuit breakers start to come in. So capitulation is going to be my addition there. Some fantastic terms, bulls, bears. Also talking about the level 2, which is your gateway to the markets in addition to charts and capitulation. There's your trading terminology here for today, and hopefully use them to your advantage. And we're going to go right back smack dab into the I don't know if I can even say that, into the middle of things. You can't chuckle, Miss V, because I saw what you were doing a second or so ago, shopping for watches with some of those Tesla gains that I think Miss V is making, but that's all right. Look, we've had a lot of movers here today. Very, very quickly. And oh, good shot, guys. Thank you. It took a couple of seconds to get that shot of Ms. V when I brought her up. Shouldn't take that long. But I wanted to jump to a couple of positions. Arun, you've got both Boeing and Caterpillar. Now, yesterday, the Dow was a big-time laggard. And so my question would be here, like those are a couple of, I guess, not reopening, but cyclical names that you would think would move at least a little bit in concert, right? So you've got the long in Boeing, you've got the short in Caterpillar. Now I understand how you can have one or the other, but maybe walk us through the thought process, because it would seem sometimes counterintuitive that you would be in opposing positions in names like that.
Yeah, sometimes I've learned to put logic aside when it comes to trying to compare what my positions are relative to what the market's doing. I've been long Apple and short the futures at times, and Apple has a large portion of the indexes. So it's just technically sound trading based on, regardless of what the rest of the market does. And I know a lot of people do kind of factor in what the futures are doing when they make their decisions. I just try to kind of isolate things and let them do their own thing. Relative strength, relative weakness. In this case, we saw Boeing was really strong as the market was falling, but it has done absolutely nothing when the market was rallying. So here we are going sideways. So Boeing has just kind of gotten exhausted a little bit after running pretty much from 190 all the way just south of 200. We got as high as like 199 and change. Now Caterpillar was one of those positions I took before this rally started. I took Caterpillar short as the futures were still negative. I was short the futures, got Caterpillar as the futures were coming up, and then I got out of the futures, and then futures took off, and here we are, and still short on Caterpillar, but again, we're at resistance. I saw just enough to warrant a short. I'm banking on volume to being there to kind of support my short. That's the only reason. Is it in the money? It was in the money a few cents, now it's out 12 cents. But when I got in, it did go up $1 against me. But again, isolated trading. I trade each and every stock individually. I give them their own little zone to work with. Obviously, if the futures are running and I'm looking for shorts, I'm going to hesitate a little bit. But in this situation, I did time it in such a way where I got into the short when I thought the futures were going to slow down, and then it accelerated. But because of relative weakness in Caterpillar, it did not go as far as you would think that as the market took off. Caterpillar did not go as far as you would expect for a stock like that. That is part of the Dow. That is a big, big name, especially in obviously in construction, but also in like last year when they were just more construction-related items. Caterpillar is the first name to go to, right? For anyone that's doing homework or work at home, that improving homes, they're spending money on what? Lowe's and Home Depot, trying to buy supplies, just trying to kind of make their houses a little bit better. Caterpillar's like that, but for the construction industry in a much larger scale. So I don't look at that entire picture, but I do look at the technical side of things, but I am aware of that possibility as well. So here we are, short on Caterpillar, south of 198. Stop on this is north of 202. And this is a name I'm going to be looking at because it is at an interesting location just around this 200 mark. It is providing some sell side action. Even if the trade doesn't go today, maybe if it sets up tomorrow, I'll take the same trade. As long as we don't crack 202, I'll be open to the idea of playing on the short side if we get a setup on the short side.
Yeah, I just, a news story here, Neil. I don't know if we want to talk about it. I mean, I don't know how major this is, but Mogo now launching a commission-free trading app. So there's Mogo right now coming out, and we'll see. We took it through 50. I actually waited. I saw the news come out. It's just, I don't know, Neil, if you want to talk about it, but 6 minutes ago, MOGO came out, and I don't know anything about the company or anything. So we'll go long. We're already out of half. We took about 25% out at 56, and then another 25% out there at 60. So we do have half of this left waiting for some more upside here. So that is Mogo. Let's throw it over to Miss V. What's up, Miss V?
Hey, Sean, I just want to bring it up. Neil spotted me shopping for watches. Well, you know, Neil, while you were talking, they already arrived some nice Rolex.
Really?
Do you like them?
Yeah. that looks oddly enough like a certain somebody else's watch. Look, I've sat next.
I earned them myself trading Tesla.
Yeah, look, I've sat next to Sean for quite some time. I know his watch when I see it.
Oh, that looks like
where's your watch?
I actually forgot to wear mine today,
Yeah, okay,
so that's
sure.
actually not mine.
It looks like it's fitted pretty well too.
Yeah, it's perfectly fitted. Well, show how well that fits, Miss V, on your wrist. There it is. Yeah, so good fit there. But no, actually, all kidding aside, Valeria has been improving her trading, and I think, and we'll let the audience know. I think maybe it's almost time to go live for Miss V trading. So paper trading for a while. What do you think, Miss V? You want to go live pretty soon?
I really want to go live, and I'm working hard on getting at that level, and I hope by the end of January I will be able to go live. And guys, if you think I'm ready and if you want this to happen, please smash the like button. And again, of course, thank you, Sean, for giving me his beautiful watches to troll me a little bit.
Be live? That's what I heard?
If we get the like button, smash.
Okay.
3,000. We need 3,000 likes. I think we can get there. I mean, how many people do we have watching right now? Let me do a quick look here. If we only have 412 likes, good thing that wasn't 420. 2,600 people watching. So let's hit the like button as much as we can, guys. And then we'll get Ms. V live, and then we'll start seeing the sweat just come off, because once you're live trading, there's nothing like it. So I'm excited for that. And when you get a chance, Ms. V, bring that damn watch back. Because, yeah, exactly. We don't need to keep that on the board. Thank you, Ms. V. Absolutely fantastic. You deserve 10 of these. So, yeah, so far so good. Let's go back over to Neil, guys.
Yeah, a couple of things here. Actually, I'll give you 3 points. One, Mogo. There's nothing more to that story. It is up that 11%. Keep in mind, Mogo was dual listed. Like you said, Mogo trade, commission-free stock trading. This has been at least a little bit speculated. So I think there's at least some chance that there's some of this baked in here, but kind of getting off of the bottom and trying to break out from a 350. You're already seeing it start to retrace pretty heavily. Another name which is on the move, Rite Aid, RAD, reported last night, and we were talking about this one a little bit in the afternoon show about Rite Aid, and now up, new fresh high today. If it'll even load for me there, load. That's why I'm saying load. Why is it not flipping? I hate when this happens, but yeah, Rite Aid's up 21%. Now when you go away from the chart, then it flips. Up 21%. It just broke highs of the day, up $15. They did book a loss, but overall they're saying, you know, people are getting tests like wildfire, getting more tests, the boosters, all a benefit for Rite Aid going forward. Their CEO had some comments earlier that caused a monster reversal in Rite Aid, now up at highs of the day at $15, right into an area of resistance at about $15.60 here. So you got a couple of movers. Also, there is a legitimate plan for getting Valeria to live trade. As a matter of fact, we're going to put some of that into effect tomorrow by trading more names than just Tesla. Today she traded some SOPA rather successfully in simulation mode, and things like that Mogo, things like this Rite Aid, things like that BFRI, those are going to be on her plate, as it has been commanded if she wants to go live, she has to start trading some other names.
Definitely. More than just Tesla. I got some names for you, Valeria. Let's go. The top 7, I would say, as both Sean and I talk about the top index names in the NASDAQ. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Well, don't trade Amazon. No, don't trade Amazon. Amazon's a bad idea. Facebook, Nvidia, Tesla, and I think we can ignore Google as well. So those are some pretty good names to start with, Valeria. But back to Rite Aid, like Neil mentioned, that 16 area, that level is going to be a problem then. Anything pretty much from here, where we are right now, 1509, all the way up to 16 is going to be a problem. Why? Look at what we did back in early November. We kind of spent a decent amount of time and volume here through that 1550, and then also back in late September, late September or so, we kind of gapped down, opened up, and failed again around that 1550. So I'm going to say 16 even has to be the turn point. The only trade you could have potentially had was that 1350 long, right? At 1350 long would have been available if you had caught it early on, and 1350 happened right off the open. There was like a small few minutes where you could have caught the entry. If you didn't have 1350, the risk reward on that trade would have been way off for you to take any long, because if you take the long, say at 1350, you can get out, call the trade a failed trade if it breaks back below 1250, risking $1. And so that 1350 long made sense. Now you go anywhere past that, you're risking more, and the upside is limited by this 1550. So it becomes a problem to kind of take the trade later on. It's up 20% on the day. We'll keep an eye on this. I'll mark it off and put an alert out for that 16. In the event that we were to either fail close to the 16, maybe around 1550, that's a short, or we were to break to the upside through that 16, then that opens up a long as well. As I'm noticing that the market is coming off a few points here now, kind of finally stalling out around this 46.35. Now we're down at 46.29. Why did I notice that? Because I noticed that Caterpillar was finally falling through that 198. So now that is now 15 cents in the money.
we realistically, I mean, I think you already hit the nail on the head there. Trading stocks that are moving here, because in the afternoon, right now, we saw this problem with yesterday. Remember, Tesla was just like barcoding all afternoon. So, you know, you're still going to see me in SoFi in 10 cents. A lot of these trades are just from the morning. You know, we should have got longer back down in here. We're trying to hold some of these trades so that when they fall back in, we can see some key levels in case those do come through here in the afternoon. One trade that we had that we actually are fine on, we're positive. It's actually, we only have one negative stock today, actually, and it's Rivian, and we'll review that. Wow, Rivian, I can't believe that one too, but we'll talk about that. Only one negative stock today and over 9 traded, I believe, or maybe 10. You'll see them all on the bottom there as it flows through there right now. But okay, CCL, so we shorted this one. Couldn't believe it was up so much. We came to a key 2050 level, and we just bounced off 2050 a bit. The first time we actually got, you know, saw this move up and shorted 2036s, able to get them out, the best out down there at 17, and then shorted it again as it came back up, and then back up again, and you're going to see in here, maybe I zoom in a little bit more, you'll see some of these are out. So they broke through 50 there, and then we re-shorted. I think that's one thing here, that if you're going to be a beginning trader, and someone asked about, you know, Valeria getting on back to live or over to live and things like that. This is one thing that I've learned, and maybe I'll take these off. So you see I re-shorted there. Let me just show you quickly why. It had that wick off top that we talked about. Whenever you're getting close, I mean, it happens a bunch of times here on CCL, but more importantly right here. So when it broke through, this isn't actually, it's not as big as I thought it was now that I see this, that it's closed. But, you know, you're down here at 36. Then all of a sudden, in 2 1-minute candles, we rip up and take out 50, which is a key level. So here's 50 right here, 2050, right? So that's a key level. It takes it out, and then you have back-to-back wicks without creating a higher high from that point. So that, to me, is an indication to hit that back to the short side, which is exactly what we did. So now let's turn back on our fills and part fills there. We'll turn those back on so you can see there's the trade right there. So back-to-back wick tops, right? We get taken out of this short. So we lose like 4 or 5 cents there, right? After capturing about a dime. So it's still a positive trade. But when we notice that that move has stopped, we get back into the short, take it all out, and then there it is again, taking us one more time out at 50 again. So, you know, back-to-back there, a few nice moves on CCL. Those are kind of the plays that I look at now, especially in low volume. You can see it happen right here. Again, let's just review this quickly here. So boom, 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 boom. Flushes you down into the 30s and then just takes back off to the upside. So that's a wick off bottom, and those were wick off tops up there. So just a few things that I'm looking at. Nike trade, yeah, we just did that as the trade of the day. It did break. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention here. I was talking with Ms. V and things like that. But it does break below that 167, which was a little bit of an area of concern. I don't like it, man, Arun. Not just Arun, but the market's now going to the upside. When the market looks like this and your stock kind of looks like that, not a great recipe for success there. So I'm actually going to debate right now. Oh, wow, it's come back nicely there. It's up 40 cents from that last spot there. So a flush down bottom. Let's put some bids down low here, 166. In case that does happen again, we'll see if we can resist this flush on Nike. But remember one thing, Neil, right now President Biden is speaking, so we could get some movement in the market.
Yes, 100%. President Biden is actually delivering some comments right now with regards to COVID. We will discuss what he does mention as we get some headlines coming through. We'll make sure to keep you guys abreast of that. There is a mover from this morning, this BFRI, which, look, it made some impressive moves here. It got up as high as that $14 range. Starting to churn back up as volume is picking up here again. It just hit that $13 mark a couple of seconds or so ago. If it gets up to this 14 double top, I would watch out. You know, if it clears that high on the daily chart, you've already broken through whatever resistance was there at 11, and you've held that same price area on a bit of a dip and a pullback. So, you know, this one could be one of those afternoon style runners as it retests that double high. You want to trade what's moving, but definitely watch out for the overall market here. Now, we had the rally. We had the rally this morning with Santa Claus rally, the positive news with the Pfizer, and of course also the Merck pills, which are getting FDA approval. That is good for the long-term recovery, but you know the president can move the markets, and a lot of times those comments, when he's done, things will calm down just a little bit here. So we'll keep our ears to the ground in case we get anything that looks like it's going to be important.
So just I was just going to say right here, let's see if this is the... Hey, what's up, Brendan? He's back in the building. But yeah, so we just played this as about as simple as we possibly could. And there it is for the first dime piece right there. I had absolutely no reason other than President Biden speaking here to go long on Pfizer. So I just figured that he's going to speak. He's going to say something about the variants, say something about Pfizer, and there it is. So a quick little dime there to go upside on Pfizer. We only got out of a third. Who knows if it's going to keep going. I do have an out. We're literally just breaking back through 59. If we break back through 59, we'll get out of this one. But I only went long on Pfizer, honestly, just because of El Presidente there. So let's see what he wants to say. That's a dime right there. Only on a third, so there could be a losing trade for sure. If it comes back down in, now that I see this, maybe this should be my breaking spot, but I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. I actually I thought I put out the stop. Yeah, I did. Okay, so the stop order is really right here, a break of 59, and we're going to get out. So just taking a shot here. If you're wondering why Pfizer is in the building, it's because of that move right now. Let's just see if he says anything, and we will, get this out on a breakthrough 59. So this has nothing to do with technicals or anything like that. Let's just see if Pfizer gets some love here from President Biden. Who knows? Looks like Nike's starting to go back to the upside. I think that a decent out for Nike. Let's just call it right here. If we can get back into this area, 168.50 or so, let's take that out for Nike. I know it's a little bit of a move, but if anybody can do it, Nike can. So let's go Nike 168.50. Let's not get too greedy. We wasted an opportunity to get out there on greed. So now let's use some kind of a knowledge base here and get out at past highs where we've had some support, or in this case, some resistance. So 168.50 target now for Nike.
Yeah, and something Neil mentioned off the top there about BFRI, about how maybe late in the session this can get going. This was something that we traded earlier this morning. I took it on the halt, got a few cents out in the first half, and then took a hit on the second half. So that's my only negative stock on the day, by the way, this BFRI off the halt there. We've seen this before, where it was hot in the morning. We get involved because it's a day trading stock, and it's moving fast. We can play, and it was one of the viewers that kind of pointed it out to us. So I got involved. I lost a little bit, but I mean the trade was there though. This could have kept on going, and that's one of those plays you take your shot, right? And now it somewhat fell off here, back towards that 1050, and now starting to creep up. We've seen this we've seen some stocks like this before that have turned into 2-3 day plays where they just completely go nuts overnight, and then we come back tomorrow and watch it be like 16, 17 bucks, right? So this can still happen. The market was still willing to play this game here, although somewhat quieter, but it is still moving up from this 11 now towards 13. So we do have to keep an eye on this and how it moves. But one of those names is from this morning, BFRI, still going strong. The biggest mistake for me this morning, or not even this morning, today, has been this UPST trade. I call for the UPST long at 141. That's my entry right there, 141 and change. I got long. It went down to 139. I said the stop was 136, perfectly fine. It goes up again to 143. So at that point, I'm up $2 and completely fails. To me, I'm like, oh, this is not good. I don't want to be priced up this high if we're going to fail at 143. My target was 146, 147, pretty much right here. So once this happened, I was like, I'm not going to put up, at that point, it was like a $5 or $6 risk for this thing to fail at 143, or at least provide resistance. I wanted to reprice it maybe somewhere south of 140 into that 139. Yeah, it turns out the market or the stock disagreed. Went as low as 141 and change. I would have never actually been out of the money on this one, and then completely ripped to the upside, now sitting at 149. I think that was the biggest mistake for me today. I think the mistake I made, though, is the fact that I actually never gave it a chance to attempt to get to 144. That should have been the where I should have moved the stop. Instead of moving the stop as soon as it crossed 143, I should have moved the stop after it crossed 144. At that point, I can say, you know what, if it gets below 142, I'm done. I think I just moved it a little too early. But that one, I'm looking at the chart going, oh man, that's a huge mistake. But the one I'm still holding on to from this morning, Boeing, finally getting a leg to the upside here. If we can just get to that 199.5, I think we're gonna gravitate towards that 200. With the futures now getting back towards that 46.35, we can get a nice little move on Boeing. Hopefully, we can get going there, cross that 200.
Yeah, just bring it to me before we go back over there. We just new position alert, now AMC. So we took the AMC long here off 50. Just saw it battling a little bit here. We took AMC. AMC could have been, guys, could have been the trade of the day, but not right now, as we'll go long now. We'll see if we can belly dance this back up here to 31 and change, about 30.80 or so. First target there, right near view up right now, some of these highs. So that's that right now, AMC. And we're just going to see if it protects it against 30 bucks flat right now. So that's going to be the AMC trade. First target 30.80 right now. Yeah, Nike is doing it right now, back up to the upside, and we're going to put a target right now 30.80 for first piece out on AMC.
And a couple of notes here from what the president's saying might help out that AMC trade or maybe the overall market. Biden says we are not going back to March 2020, so that's a bit of optimism there as well. He says we can keep our K-12 schools open, which I'm sure will make a lot of parents happy, among other things that he's talking about here, certainly. That is a little bit optimistic. Yeah, there you go. Live, he's still speaking right now. There he's talking about schools being open. And he has not commented on Arun defying the will of the polls and the will of the people to be in front of the big screen and do a trade of the day. We'll see. We'll get the president's comments on that a little bit later. But you guys voted, and Arun still wouldn't do it.
I'm sorry, what poll? There was a poll?
There was a poll.
Was there a
poll? There was a poll, and I don't remember the results. I know it was overwhelmingly in your favor that you should do the trade of the day. And Swan won the poll?
Swan, see, I told you guys.
Swan won the poll?
What poll? Swan won, and Swan showed up to talk about Ford
What is
and
wrong
Micron.
with you people?
So I don't know.
Okay, how about
what
this?
you guys are
Arun will
talking
do
about.
tomorrow's trade of the day.
No, I won't. There you
Really?
go. Swan will do it.
Really?
Done.
Wow, Arun.
give up.
Yeah, people just want to see you, Arun, man.
Swan.
Okay, so yeah, one of us will do the trade of the day at some other point, and it won't be Arun, apparently.
Nope.
It'll be me, that means.
There
So,
you go.
Okay. Or maybe Neil. Well, Neil's on the desk. Okay.
The way I see it, this is the reason I hesitate, or I adamantly say no, is because I'm a guest trader on this show. The show is Neil and Brendan. So not Neil and Brendan, Neil, Brendan, and Sean. So if one of the two traders that are actually there, they need to be doing the trade of the day. So that's my take on
to be perfectly honest, the people have spoken, I think, in my opinion.
Right.
And they get to see us every single day. Arun, it's a treat that they get to see a different perspective on trading. Let's be honest, we all know this is to be true, that you learn from those different styles. We've all learned from each other. We've all had conversations during lunch when we're on air, learning from each other. And you know, Arun, that it would be fantastic for the viewers. So let's get on board. We'd love to see you on.
That's a good thing we do the evergreens then.
I've also summoned a monster. Will be on the screen very, very soon coming through. So we have another guest coming up very, very soon. And I'm very, very happy to have him on. And we will work on Arun there. So we'll work on Arun. And you are not a guest trader. You are a resident trader. You are here all the time, and that's okay. I support the trade of the day, and I support Arun's decision, obviously, as that goes. It looks like Pfizer's starting to work a little bit here. Pfizer did take a little bit of a move down to 59 here. We'll see. First of all, I love our guest's shirt coming on. I actually have that same shirt, so there he is. Yeah, let's wait until we're ready to go, guys, on that. Pfizer, a nice move to the upside is what we're talking about right now, and we'll see if it can continue. I don't know. We might have got lucky getting that print there up to 59.25. We'll see if it wants to go right now coming through on that play. Other than that, not your Nvidia, but we talked about Nvidia at 290. I'm wondering if that's going to be, actually, I'll just click on here. I told this to Randy to do, just click on my blotter, and there it goes. Now Nvidia's coming up, a nice top there at 291. What does that look like on a 20-minute? Because look at this epic move back here on Nvidia, all the way back up to the upside right now. This could be something that we talk about, the chip space, and what that means moving forward for the metaverse and things like that. Right now, 290, 291, 292 coming into play once again here on Nvidia. So this may be, if you were thinking that the market's a little top heavy, and by the way, we talked about this coming through, man. Where's my Santa? There it is. We talked about Santa Claus rally coming through as the show ended and this morning. So you had to withstand a little bit of coal there in the morning, but now looks like Santa's back in the building, and we'll keep going to the high side. All the trades now nicely in the money, although AMC's not really doing anything. We have an AMC long right now. We have the MOGO long, which I kind of laugh at this. I don't know. We'll see if it goes. Who knows? Nike continues to make a nice move back up. We talked about getting longer in here. Didn't happen. Now it's going back the upside. 168.50 or so up here is the target for Nike. Nikola, I might as well just get out of Nikola so I don't get razzed anymore. We're going to get out of this if it breaks back down below 40. So that's going to be my out for Nikola there. Pfizer to the upside, and SoFi. I mean, we're waiting for it to take out this. We take out 15.05 here on SoFi. We're going to go long more. So I like a 15 break on SoFi. Let's just take out this 02 actually here, and then we're going to go more long. So a few ideas there. Hopefully you take them with what they're worth, and we can make some money.
Well, you talk about the Santa Claus rally. Santa has left his sleigh. He's not on the sleigh. This morning, somebody made a comment about how Santa fell off the sleigh, and that's why the market was going down. Well, Santa kind of left the sleigh, and he got on a Boeing plane. And as you can see, he's doing quite well. So here we are. Markets are up north of 2%. Boeing up 5.7. The reason I bring this up, it's going towards its highs. This is what I wanted to see. Now, I'm still long down here at 190.40. This is sitting at 199.22. Can we see 200 on Boeing with Santa riding this thing all the way back up? So hopefully we get that move to the upside. Futures still moving to the upside. So back towards their highs for the day here. If we can get north of 46.35 quarter. The 46.35 quarter is the high for the day on the futures. And we're about a point and a half away from taking that high out. And CAT resisting the urge, but to be pushed to the upside, like these guys are pushing me to do the trade of the day, and it is doing its own thing. Back to the downside we go on Caterpillar. That is now up 34 cents as we go back to Neil.
Not to me. Come on. You know what time it is. You know who he is. You've seen him before. We've got Justin, and the marketing guy here. A lot we can talk about, certainly. But welcome here. This is the first time I've gotten to have you on the desk. First thing first, how was your day? What are you up to?
Day's been great. Started off this morning with a pickup hockey game, so definitely getting my Canadian on from that perspective. So that was a good game. 4 goals, 3 assists. Not a bad way to start a Tuesday.
Well, by yourself?
No, not by myself. With some other folks that I usually skate with. So that's always a
7 points is pretty good.
7 points in one game. Not a bad way to start a Tuesday. So very, very happy about that. And just getting the Christmas shopping thing done. So, how's that? Have you got yours done?
Look, I'm absolutely all done. I've gotten everything out of the way. We had all those concerns about supply chain. You had me at 7 points in a single game. That's more impressive than the market rally that we're seeing here today. But look, it's on the note of Christmas shopping. I mean, so we've been talking about supply chain a little bit here. We were just looking up Amazon, which is up 2% on the session here today. But overall thoughts on how you think it's going, just overall when it comes to people getting the shopping done, and what kind of a season we might be expecting.
I mean, for me, like Amazon has kind of always been my go-to. I very, very rarely go into any kind of brick and mortar. You will not find me going into a mall, especially now with COVID. So for me, 2-day delivery or Prime, I love it. So I'm all about that. And listen, honestly, as the pandemic continues and certainly deepens, Amazon is pretty much the way to go. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me. So good to see that they're doing well. They're up
couple
points today. So not doing too bad. Listen, if you can get everything that you can get on Amazon and not have to pay, ridiculous delivery fees or get wait a long time for your stuff, all for it. So I mean, I bought everything on there so far. So.
Yeah, we've also had you on talking about a few topics of interest. I know one that you mentioned you wanted to bring up here and just sort of rehash. So, what are the big stories of interest that we can start thinking about here that might not be front of the mind for some of the traders, but we'd like to cover?
Yeah, so I mean, the big one that I noticed is that the Tim Stokely, CEO of OnlyFans, is stepping down. So, the NSFW business clearly. Getting a little bit of activity there, and for the first time in a long time, nice, thanks guys. For the first time in a long time, the spokesperson has been appointed the CEO. So I thought that was kind of like, all right, that kind of came out of left field a little bit. So Interesting. I mean, I think it's an interesting business. Obviously, the content creation from that side of the world is always interesting. Certainly, a business that has gotten some interesting press over the last little while. I think back in October, they said that they were facing some pressure from credit card processors and banks, and then they said that they were going to not allow adult content on their platform, and quickly reversed that decision 24 hours later when there was a big kind of I guess kerfuffle. Thank you. A big kerfuffle, and then they reversed that decision, and now they're they seem to be doing relatively well. And frankly, I mean, listen, this is any kind of content creation. Business is going to do well, particularly during a pandemic when most people are home and unemployment is as high as it is. So interesting to see what OnlyFans is doing. Very interesting that they picked their spokesperson to be their CEO. So certainly an interesting departure, but no real reason why he's leaving. So
that's always a little sketchy.
It is. Yeah. It's a little sketchy. It's also a little concerning when they just all of a sudden suddenly step down, and it feels like, okay, well, now what? So, yeah.
Yeah, they're up to here, just to pull the article, and they're actually up to 130 million users and 2 million creators. So pretty good growth for them there. I'm going to put you on the spot for one, because this actually, my mind went from the second we started talking about content creators and you started online, I started thinking about an IPO. Now, we don't have a date for when Reddit is going to launch, but Reddit has applied to go public, and obviously. Most people are familiar with Reddit. You've probably been on some kind of Reddit board before. Of course,
love Reddit.
It's been big with Wall Street bets for traders. But your thoughts on Reddit in general?
I mean, I think Reddit is facing certainly some really interesting times. The biggest challenge that I think Reddit has had is, never mind the Wall Street bet side of things. I think they've really struggled as a company in terms of figuring out how to monetize, even though they do have an advertising product. I also think that one of the biggest challenges that Reddit is going to have as they go public is how are they going to deal with the content moderation side of things. Right. They've certainly made some interesting moves and some kind of boneheaded decisions around how they moderate content. I think that they really need to clean that side of the business up. There's a lot more that they could be doing from a content moderation perspective, from removing content that is potentially harmful to marginalized communities. That being said, I mean, I will, step away from my unbiased side. I love Reddit personally, as someone who creates a lot of content and consumes a lot of content, both locally and from other content creators that play the kind of video games that I play. I think Reddit's has a great product. I would like to see them do more in terms of monetization from an advertising perspective. But I also feel that they need to work on that content moderation side of things, and also maybe do a little bit better in terms of the types of people that they hire that aren't so politically charged, if you will. There's been some drama with that company and some of the people that they've hired that have. I think one of the big stories was that they hired an individual who was related to a pedophile. So there's kind of been some eyebrow-raising decisions on behalf of Reddit, but for the most part, I think that they've got a great product. They just need to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think I try to put you on the spot here.
No, I appreciate that.
And of course, you jump right in and drop the knowledge. I'll give a few pointers here, and again, we can always look these things up, but they're aiming for a valuation of $15 billion when they do come to market. They've raised $1.3 billion from private investors. A few of them in there: Tencent, Fidelity, Sequoia Capital, or some of them right now. Before we get out of here, a couple of things. If there's any last topics that you wanted to cover, that's one. Two, what are your plans for the holidays?
Plans for the holidays? Hanging out with the kids. Going to see some family. This will be the second time that I've seen my mom since the pandemic started. So she's older, and so therefore I don't want to, potentially be that guy that that brings the pandemic to, or brings COVID to a small town. But I did test negative on Saturday, so very happy about that. And that's going to be kind of the plan. Drink a lot of eggnog and hang out with the family and just take it very, very easy. You?
My eggnog will not be by itself. I need very, very specifically something added to it that begins with a B and ends in urban.
Okay.
I'm actually, as you were mentioning, I haven't seen my brother for the longest period of time. My entire life, I have not seen my brother. He had his second child right before COVID started.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't even met my nephew, and I'm off next week, guys. I'm actually going to get a chance to go out to Halifax and visit my brother for Christmas. So we'll probably only be staying in his house, but that is perfectly fine by me. You got to do what you got to do around these times. As always, Justin, thank you for stopping by. This was impromptu. We put you on the spot. As usual, you have delivered, Justin, the marketing guy here, talking a little bit about Reddit, talking a little about the holiday season. Enjoy, and we'll I think we have you back on tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, I think I'm around tomorrow. I'm sure we can find a story to talk about, or a story or three. So.
Sounds good. And as always, a fun, fantastic guest. I'm going to bring it back to you guys. I know the market's still moving here as the president is not quite done talking, but the market's still moving to the upside. I was just watching. Now watching Amazon is at the high of the day, like many other names, boys.
Yeah, I was just sitting here and I saw Justin in the chat and I was like, hey, bro, like, what's up? Why don't you come on the show? I know he's loved, so thank you again, Justin, for that. I wanted to ask him what he wanted for Christmas. Like, what was a tech gadget that was sort of hot? So maybe tomorrow, Perfect. Okay, so he's going to do that tomorrow. We're going to talk about like what's hot for tech guys. I got a couple people on my list, although it's getting to be late now to start buying some. So thank you, Justin, and congratulations. Our own in-house Daryl Sittler, 7 points right there. So there we go. So you got that in. Yeah, great hockey. You know, Toronto versus everybody. I actually have that same T-shirt. Maybe we will wear that tomorrow. And Arun, remember. Although, you know, a lot of people saying that, like, you know, we are guest hosts for the show. It's your show. So you have to.
I'm not here enough. I don't
remember.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, agreed. But remember, Thursday is Christmas sweater day. So,
oh boy.
You know, yeah. So get locked and loaded. Get ready to wear that one.
What if I don't have one? Can I just wear a normal sweater?
I didn't even cross that bridge.
Swap shops. It's really easy to acquire one. It doesn't take. It's
but that
not
means
that
I gotta
difficult.
go out and get one.
Like you can go out and get one. I gotta read these headlines. I'm doing my Brennan here, so I hate to interrupt, but Biden saying the delivery of 500 million tests for distribution to all Americans will start in January. Look, the way that they're piling into the testing and the fact that it might not be as serious. I don't know what your thoughts are, guys, but and especially given the fact that. You know, if this is being spread more and isn't quite as dangerous, could we be seeing like a possible turn here?
Yes.
And I mean, like you said, like we saw CCL today. Like obviously, it's already through that 20 mark. We talked about this already, so I knew your answer. I'm kind of teeing it up for you here, Sean. But what are our thoughts for the chance of we're turning the corner? And for some of these reopen names, this could be this week or maybe the beginning of the year could be that start for that rally.
Yeah, I just put on the thing there, the up arrow. And again, I'm looking for, I don't think I have any bulls running. We'll do this. This is a bear. But I think we might have tamed the bear right now. And look, we don't ever want to get too political on the show because that's not what it's about. But for Joe Biden to come out now and say that he believes, you know, everybody needs to have the vaccine, this and that, whether or not you believe it or not, at least there is some sort of data now that Omicron with the booster shot, the third dose. I actually saw something funny. I was watching, I forget who it was. It was someone late night, and he said that if they just called it like extra strength, you know, like everybody now is like, I don't want to get a third vaccine, but it's the same vaccine. So they're like, if it was like extra strength, then everybody would be like, yeah, I need that extra strength. But apparently for Omicron, we talked about this yesterday, it was 37 times the better protection if you did get that third booster. So I don't know, again, I don't know if that's what he's mentioning there, but I think on the horizon, if that is true, whether or not you're going to get herd immunity from just getting COVID or and not even taking a vaccine, I personally, if you don't take it, it's up to you. Whatever your own medical situation is, that's fine. But I feel like we're starting to turn the corner now. I know hospitalizations are down, and for me, that's going to be obviously a great sign. We heard Justin talk about it. The less nervous people are about visiting people, that's going to create more travel opportunities. We've seen Disney, we've seen even stocks like Nike starting to move today, talking about digital sales, things like that. So I think that, all this kind of talk is definitely a good thing. And then with Pfizer, I mean, we're still Pfizer. I mean, this is what Pfizer thinks about Joe Biden right now, or the traders of Pfizer anyways, not moving at all since he came through and started talking. So I don't know what to think other than I believe we've made that 3% move down. We've talked about this on the futures. I said it was about a 3 to 4% move down. That's already happened. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited right now. Here's the pullback in the Qs, back down below the 50-period moving average. We are now starting to go back above it. The last time we went below the 50-period moving average, it lasted 1, 2, 3. Let's call it 2 weeks. This time we're lasted just maybe a week below. So let's see now if we can get back to the upside. There may be more downside, but I don't think it's much. And this is one thing. The market right now is moving. First of all, no Olympics for NHL right now. The markets are moving now based on this COVID talk. But guess what, guys? There's still PE issues. There's still the market being inflated incredibly. We've had a monster run in the market. So there may be some pullbacks just naturally here. I got to tend to this AMC position. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, very quickly, another comment says Biden says he's considering reversing the travel ban and will discuss with his advisors over the next couple of days. Now, when that dropped, look, Delta was already up, and you can probably look at some other airlines here, but Delta was already up on the session, but a little bit of a breakout from a consolidation. Some barcoding going on here as it found support at 38, but marching up on that latest comment. And again, he's still speaking and I believe answering questions as we talk. So there's still a few headlines dropping here, but we already talked about CCL earlier in the morning. You see Delta here up 6% and starting to run as well. So it feels like this rally is going to, it looks has the legs to extend into the afternoon. Arun, I don't know if we get your thoughts on the futures here, but as we have some of these names continue to push towards those highs and make some fresh highs, any thoughts that you see some profit taking in the final hour?
Yeah, as we as the futures took off to new highs, I was short on CAT, right? So I just dumped that one in front of 197.50, walking away with like a 45-cent winner or so on CAT. I think shorts, I'm just going to dump, walk away from. Boeing is still going, so that helps the situation with the airlines and whatnot going up. So Boeing is still at day high. So here we are working the top towards that 200, hopefully by the close. One thing I do want to go back to is the futures, right? This is the daily chart on the futures. If you were to mark off, this is all great. The market's up 1%, 2% on the NASDAQ, 1.6 on the ES. But you cannot deny the fact that we are stuck between this high here, which is 47.50. It's about 47.50. We can round that up. And then the bottom is about 44.80. It's a wide range. There's a lot of trades to be made on the intraday side of things. As you get to the top, if you get a setup on the short side, you go for the short. As you get to the bottom, if you get a setup on the buy side, like we were looking for yesterday, you go for the long, right? Anything in between is just, I don't want to say minimal trading, but it is intraday trading. Just be aware that the lifespan of a trade inside this range is limited by the top or the bottom of the range. So you do have to be smart about how you trade. It's great that we're up a lot, but if we keep going up a little bit further, we're going to run into resistance. At that point, you need to clear that resistance for this market to expand to the upside. Given the way that it is trading sideways, that could easily happen after we get some selling done as we get closer to the end of the year. Now, it's just a matter of just temper your expectations as we get higher and closer to the resistance. Once that's gone, though, then, we can say, you know what, here we go towards what's the next round number that everyone's going to talk about, probably 5,000 on the ES contract, on the futures contract, right? So here we are going sideways, wide range. Anything in between, you got to respect the fact that we are within the bounds, a massive bound, though. It's like nearly, 47.50, 44.80. That's like 270 points or so. That's a wide range. So here we are trading inside that range, but it is still inside the range. You cannot deny that fact. So here we are just trying to make some day trades, trying to make some money. Regardless of what you think about everything else that's happening, let's focus on the cash here. And the markets are telling us that based on the way that they're trading, we are stuck in a range, although it's a wide one, which provides a ton of opportunities inside the range to make some money.
Yeah, well put. And I think we still are, very much range bound for right now. We talked about the Santa Claus rally, 35 of the last 49 or so. I tweeted it out. Days there have led to a Santa Claus rally. It's right here. So Santa Claus rally has yielded positive returns in 34 of the past 45 holiday seasons. But take this to note. That stat is the last 5 trading days. So that's all next week, because we're open every day next week. We talked about that in our meeting today. We're open every single day. There's a weird rule that if the end of the year falls on a Friday, and obviously New Year's Day then, the first would be on a Saturday, you don't get the Monday off, and Friday's a full day. So it's like, thanks market or SEC or whoever makes those rules, that we are now working, which is fine. We'll be here all next week. No shortened day, but we are not here on Friday, as that is the Christmas holiday. So the Santa Claus rally, as I was getting to there, last 5 days and the first 2 or few days in January gets us that. So I don't know. People are saying that what Biden said, I don't know. We didn't hear it. Neil's just waiting out if there's any like key headlines on what Biden's been saying that will come out. But as of right now, I think Biden is gone from what I can see right now. And then we'll go over to Neil 1 second. Our average price is 30.40 here on AMC. It does dip down. We always take this. So there's a take at 50 and there's a take at 25. So just averaging in on these even dollars. I trade the quarters. I call them evens all the time, but quarters. So quarter, 50, 75. We'll get this out. If we come back to 50, then we take a piece out here. But I still think AMC has a chance here to run at least a VWAP, which is 30.80, and then possibly even higher. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, one of his last comments, we've sort of been giving you some bullet points. One of the last comments from the president was saying him and Senator Manchin would get something done so that, that Build Back Better deal, which they're going to vote on it in January regardless. I guess it's not necessarily dead yet, although Manchin said he would not support it in its current state, so negotiations going there. And this ISPC has been it just popped up on volume scan. It just up $3. It might go into a halt state any second now. It's got a small float. It's a $4.3 million float. Icon says says it has a 15% short interest. I don't see any actual news. I just looked over. Yeah, it's about to go into a halt. 14.85. You got it?
Yep. So thank you, Neil. Right there, it was actually printing the. Oh, God, I didn't even look at a chart. What am I doing? Okay.
That's why I stayed away.
Okay.
You might get lucky, though.
Damn you, Arun.
You might get lucky.
Arun wins again. I actually, all I heard, this is how stupid I am. All I heard was going into a halt stage. I didn't even realize how far up this had gone. So I'm long here at the top of this halt. We'll see. Right now it's tapping 15, so we'll definitely get out of half as per usual on this one. But ISPC, I only heard a few.
15.89. Look at that. You might get lucky.
No, it's still 15.
Oh, right no, it flashed to 15.89 for a second.
Yeah, now it's 14.99. You want to bring that one up too, Arun? But you can see here, 16.50. Now it's 14.91, Arun.
Hey, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, okay, keep me updated, thanks. But you can see here, probably, look, it's a light shares. Obviously, we're just playing around. I'm not going to jump right into something and be like, oh man, it's time to go ham on this. So ISPC, we know the stock. We've traded it before. It's just I didn't look at the price. Much better if there's some price discovery down here, like 11, 12, 13, so that we can get up to these spots. But right now, ISPC, obviously some sort of a market function there, just ripped up. I don't even know if Neil said that there was news or anything on this recently, but you could see the volume definitely picking up. Now it's tapping $23. What?
26.50.
26.50?
19. It's all over the place.
Okay. Now back down to 15. So, okay, here we go, as Randy says. So we'll see where ISPC goes. I'm definitely going to get out of half. So I'm going to throw it over to you. I want to put the order out so I don't make a keystroke error because it's pretty important. I think like 16, 17, if we're lucky enough to get that, then we'll do it. But I'm going to throw my order out. It's called a limit on open order. And I'm going to throw it to the NASDAQ because that's the market it's going to open up on here. So I should get half of my position out on the open, which I'm hoping is north of 15 as we're long at 14.85. And just some out spots. I like to get out the candle before the halt, the bottom. So 13.50 right there is going to be my out. So we're going to put in a couple orders. One to get out half, then the other one to get out at the bottom.
All right, as Sean takes care of his ISPC position, the only position I've got left, remember we dumped that cat position as the market was putting in new highs. It was kind of hitting somewhat of a mid support there around 197.50. That seems to be a pretty good decision here. I don't need to carry the risk of holding on to this trade, although I did give it like $4 when I took the trade. I don't need to hold on to this trade as we kind of head into support and we're running out of time. So it's one of those things. And then the other one is Boeing. It's at highs. We're just going to let it be. And maybe we can get a nice little imbalance on Boeing, push it north of 200. If I can get it to, if this thing goes to 240, that'd be an even $10 on the trade. And Dominic, you're showing LGVM. Let's take a quick look at that. And we'll go to Valeria? Ooh?
Cancel. We're just getting out right now of AMC right now. Yeah. So when Randy's on the board, we get a few more cancels than normal, I noticed right there. Congratulations, Randy, there. I heard that when you were filling in for me adamantly that he made some money on Ford today in his own account. So that's congratulations. Anytime someone can make, but it was short, so we don't like that. But money is money, as we say.
LGVN. Dominic put that in the chat.
Oh,
that's also going nuts as well.
Okay, so I see what you're trying to do to me here, Arun. Yeah, get Sean to go long, LGVN, guys. Put it in the chat and see what I do. Okay, LGVN, again, another name. This was Longeveron, I believe, without even looking it up. $19, a nice little move upside. Doesn't look like it wants to halt right now. Big time move, big time volume. Where did this come from? Nobody knows. A nice move again. Again, not in a good halt spot. If we were down here, 16, 17, hitting some of these highs, but we just took it out, actually, it's not horrible here because we've seen Longeveron before come into these spots. So again, I'm going to wait, Arun, until ISPC opens up. It doesn't look like that's going to open up to any sort of fanfare at all. 14.90. We may make a whopping 5 cents on the first bit as it opens up, and then we may lose $1.50 on the next half as our out's going to be 13.50. So that's ISPC. Thank you, Dominic, for bringing Longeveron to our look here. But as I look on a daily chart, or this is a 20-minute chart, I don't know, you're going to run into some problems. Look at all this barcoding here at 19 and 20. So I think you might run into some problems. But hey, a 20 break, you can't complain with that one.
No, not at all. ISPC, though, this is not looking too good. Man, if there were free shorts, I bet you there's no free shorts. But this is pretty much right back to what I was going to do earlier. On another name, I was like, oh, man, it'd be a nice little short there. Whatever the opening print is, maybe go for the short. I'm not going to do it, but we are going to keep an eye on this as this is about to open in about 10 seconds or so, right, if it's a 5-minute halt. My only hesitation with trading these stocks this late in the day is that in the event that's not a 10-minute halt, ends up being longer, I'm going to be scrambling towards the end. That's my issue. There you go. 14.85 is the open. And
amazing.
It's kind of doing nothing. You see the level 1, level 2
here. We go. I'll
here.
Put it up.
It's sitting at 40 by 60. They could pick up some steam and take the 15s out easily, but it's just a matter of are they going to get, there you go, 15's gone now.
There we go.
Now it's accelerating to the upside. Sean, how are you doing on that position? I know you got some out there.
Yeah, I'm doing okay on it. There it is. Yes, sir. Nice little out there. So thank you, Arun, for asking. As there it is, man. Yes, sir, ISPC. Sometimes it works out well for us. We have a very, very small position left out there. As soon as I saw that get up to 16, Arun, honestly, I hit offer enter. We just have a small piece left, a piece that we're willing to hold. So out for basically nothing off open. It halts 84. I mean, what am I long? That's the halt price. 85. We got out at 86. It reopened 1 penny higher, or maybe not even. Let me check my trade list to see where it opened up. It actually opened up at 85. Yeah. So we netted out, and then we made $1. So 80 cents. So we made 80 cents on the upside. We do have a small piece left. Let's just see if that halts one more time back in. So ISPC, a nice win. And then just to update everybody again, we got this. It comes up to 45. We take that out on AMC. So not out. We took out a quarter of our trade. So I'm still thinking upside. I don't have any more offers out until up here. So hopefully AMC can start to run and we get this 30.80. But we did take a little piece off there. And then we'll see if it tests 30. That's what we're going to get out. So far, so good. Oh, yeah. An update alert as well. What's up, Brandon? Brendan. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. So there it is. So Brendan always brings us the news. Today it's Neil. Pfizer right there just ticked up. So we absorbed some of that. We were going to get out on a 59 break, give it a little bit of room. We talked about that. There it is. So we took a position for you guys. 59.10 off President Biden. And nice move to the upside. We'll see if it continues. May just get this out, but you could see starting to make a little higher highs here. So maybe that continues. Where were we today? Still some upward movement coming here, hopefully for Pfizer. We could, I don't know if we test 60, but I guess we'll wait for the imbalances. My out right now breaking through 59. So we got a nice little win on that one. So far, so good going through here. I don't know what else to talk about. Mogo's not doing anything. So that was one. My out was going to be breaking through 40. That didn't happen. So we'll just wait on Mogo. And good, man. Our day actually got a lot better there, Arun. So I'm pretty happy. Thanks for the ISPC tip.
Yeah, so a couple of trades that I want to set up. I'm noticing there are some alerts going off that I kind of set up earlier, but I'm not going to take them because it's too late in the day. But I'm going to mark them off and let you guys know what I'm looking at for tomorrow's trades anyways. Affirm, AFRM, looking for a long north of 104 if we can maintain some strength here. Depends on how we trade the pre-market or the aftermarket session and coming into the day. But as long as we get above 104 tomorrow and don't do anything crazy, there could be a nice little long there. The stop on that was probably going to be somewhere south of 100. That's one trade I'm looking at. Another trade, Nvidia. We talked about this one. What was that? Neil was at the desk?
What the hell
Sean's
is that?
playing around with his board again, and he's putting Neil on the screen.
This one, look, tell people what this says, Arun.
Where it says? It says, eat Sean.
Right, so I was like, eat Sean. Okay, let's see what this is. So I push it. Ow. And that's what it is. So it's Neil eating me. So I didn't know what that was. So there you go. I should not. I mean, I should not have pushed that. I thought it might have been like.
There you go. Sean's playing with his keyboard and or his deck there and playing around with the animations. But back to Nvidia, I'm looking at 290 north of Nvidia on the long side. Remember, we were playing off of 290 on the short side. If we can break the long to the upside, that'd be a nice little long as well. As long as we don't do anything crazy, I'm probably thinking stop's going to be somewhere around 283. We'll see. Stocks are coming off a little bit. Futures are coming off. So we're starting to see some selling, which is a good thing given how strong we've been. And the other trade I'm looking at as well is Zoom north of 200. Now we failed off 200 today, but let's get back up there, get above that 201. There could be a nice little support long there if we get above that high, whatever the high was, 250 or something like that. So here we are waiting on those names. We'll trade those names tomorrow, but futures are coming. It's not even a lot. I just want to say they're coming down. They're coming down from 37 to 32. So here we are at 32.5, which is only like 5 points, not even that much, but enough to move some of these names that have been relatively weaker. For whatever case, like Zoom has been weaker. It's flat on the day, even after it put in an $8 rally from the bottom there. And here we are coming back off that 200 now. So Boeing's still strong. We're going to hold on to that until the imbalances come out at 350, and maybe we get a buy side imbalance that allows us to get past that 200 mark and make this trade a even $10 winner.
Yeah, Affirm down to 103. Very, very interesting prices. I know. I haven't gotten into that. I know Neil's been picking some up on the bottom. I do like that trade on Affirm, and I think that could be something just like Upstart. And I like PayPal at these levels. I like Win at $80. I mean, I keep talking about that over and over again to you guys as well. And then just an update here. We are now out. We smoked it right there on Pfizer as we get out there at 59.10. We buy it off President Biden and then out. So we won't talk about that anymore. And how about these apples? How you like that, PaySafe holders? Today we are up an amazing 7%. We were up 9% at one point there on PaySafe. And then as the market falls, like some of these garbage stocks, I'm just joking about PaySafe. Like I'm stuck long $8. This is one of the worst positions that I have in my what was supposed to be a swing account and now long-term account. This is PaySafe's earnings just chilling out here. Bang! Down to the downside down here. Wow. What a this stock. I hate this stock. What's up, Neo?
I mean, if you're a shareholder of QLGN, you might not like that one recently, but today it just made across the 10% mark. Another low float, no news story here. There's been like 3 or 4 in the last 15 minutes or so, about a 30 million share float on this name, and about a 15% short interest from what I could see on Icon. You'll get differing numbers depending on the service you use, but it just broke through $1 here after doing absolutely nothing. So it does feel like there is a bit of a run on low float, short interest names that were making no moves. And it feels like, or at least it seems like there's some social media chatter to it. The only thing you find on any of these are some Twitter handles that are seemingly pumping these to the upside, and they're starting to break out. So you've seen some bigger ones. Looks like there's some shenanigans going on during our holiday shortened week, which happens. Lower volumes, and you can get these types of moves on low float names.
Yeah, I think Neil thought I was a giant pineapple on that there because, like, it's just like, there's Neil. I love pineapple.
Pizza. That's like him trying to eat a pineapple pizza.
I've never seen that before. I don't know if that's a new one or what. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I'll give you one right now, Rune. You don't want to do a trade of the day? I will eat pineapple pizza, and you can put extra pineapple on it if you'll do a trade of the day at the desk.
That's not a good trade-off. I don't see that trade-off.
Oh,
What?
come on, man.
What?
I give up.
How is Neil even offering
What's
that?
the point, man?
I don't
like,
see that.
seriously.
I don't see the trade-off.
You just sit up there and talk about the futures for 5 minutes like you always do. Wow, Arun. Wow. Arun letting the people down. Like, I'm self-proclaimed people's trader, but man, you are letting the people down on that one, Arun.
But you just said it yourself. You're the
Self-proclaimed, though. You are the actual people's trader.
Take me off the screen. I don't even know what to say.
Well,
about
I don't
this
even know
right
what to say either.
I'm not-
Take me and Neil off the screen. That's it. Let's take off our mics. No, we're just playing around. Yeah, Arun, you feel comfortable to do the trade of the day tomorrow. So, okay. And you know, Neil just talked about some of these runners, guys. Don't get FOMO. Although AMC right now, let's go. No NHL players in the Olympics now. I think that's a great move. If you test positive right now you test positive for COVID as long as it's I don't know if how they can tell. I guess they can tell what you have. The new variant apparently is just like a cold, a cough, especially for some of these elite athletes. The last thing I'd want to do if I was going for the Olympics is China, I believe, is a 21-day ban. Like, you have to be in quarantine for 21 days if you test positive. So I can't see like any real athletes going over to China and being locked up for 21 days because they test positive. Because guess what? They probably will test positive. So there we go. That's just a little bit of talk right there on that one. And I did want to talk, don't get FOMO about Longeveron or any of these names that Neil or I are trading or bringing up. Because look, remember this one? It just came up and we were like, oh, there's another one. It just faded out. So it went from basically 1920 all the way back down here. So some of this volume is just not anything to hang your hat on here. So I wouldn't really worry too much about missing out some of these plays. My ISPC, although I've made money on it, and we talked about this 1350 bottom, I'm actually going to change it to 14. We bounced off 14 a couple times. We're going to change that to 14. Even if I get out there, I'm still up on the stock. So this turns out to be a good one, but it did halt. And we got lucky on that bump, in my opinion, right there. Okay, AMC now, guys. We're long 35s. It's bouncing off 50s. Like, let's just hold out hope that this market, we don't even need the market, but that AMC starts to rally here. We had our rally caps on pretty hard here for the open. We took that in the actually not even the pre-market, sorry. When the market opened up, we wanted to defend 29.50. So it comes down, gives us a bottom. Then we punch it through, and that was an awesome trade. And then we went harder again, even much harder actually here at 30.50.
Do you have that ISBC still?
I do.
Yeah? It's at 15 right now.
Yeah, I know. It's starting to go back to the upside.
Yeah.
So on ISPC, I don't even have an offer out up here. So maybe we should just do that. Tick an offer out up there. Oh, did it actually hit that 1550? Yeah, let's put an offer in here somewhere to get out. Thanks again. There, see? Arun, People's Trader there, saving me one more time on this one. So let's put an offer around 1550, see if we get lucky enough to be able to get this out. Otherwise, we're out at 14, clapped out.
Yeah, futures. We're going sideways on the futures. I thought we'd come off a little bit more, given how late into session we are. Some profit taking needs to be done, I would imagine. But here we are at 3:30, with about 20 minutes before these imbalances come out, and they still don't want to go down. So I guess decent strength here on the future side of things for the moment. So as we're waiting, let me just do one thing. I'm just sending a message there.
As if.
Yeah, and there, ISBC now going towards that 1550. Futures still kind of going sideways. Now going to the upside a little bit, but not the action I'm getting. I just got to protect this Boeing trade here. Right now, it's kind of backing away from that 199.50. What I do have to protect against is this being a double top here around that 199.50. So I'm going to move the stop up, maybe south of 198.50. Right now, it's sitting south of 197. So we'll move that up, lock in that $8 or so in that way. In the event that the imbalance were to come out negative, we're fully out of this position, still making some money. Sean, what's going on with your? What's happening over there?
I absolutely, obviously, no word of a lie. I've proven this lots of times. I was sitting at 1540 on ISPC. So right where I put this line, I was sitting at 1540. So now I'm changed it to 1530. Hopefully it comes back up and hits us. But we were at 1540. And I was like, here we go. We're going to get, okay, let's go. Let's just go to 30, man. Like, honestly, if we can get this up to 30. Come on. All right, well, we're going to leave this because the more I look at it, honestly, the more it's not going to go. So hopefully, if I get ticked out at 14, man, that is bad. We were waiting at 1540 when it went to 39 there. So we're going to wait now at 1530. Hopefully it gets back upside there and we get ticked out. So that's that trade. Otherwise, guys, just so you know, we're just playing around. This is not a make or break trade at all. Like I said, even if we take this 14, we're still positive. We were actually positive if we took this 13.50. So hopefully now it's coming back up. So let's go. We just need 20 more cents and we'll be out. You could trust me on this one. We're at 15.30 flat. Hopefully that can come through and print us. Did we ever find out, Neil, what was going on with these names? Because today's CGC, man, yeah, I feel like we're in a little bit of a haze. Making some moves to the upside here. CGC yesterday absolutely crushed, and we traded it down to the short side yesterday. Trade's not here, but we hit this short yesterday as it was breaking through 9, and what a great trade. That went down to 8.50, and then all of a sudden today, man, like, I don't know, we talked about this on the morning show, but a nice little rally back up off the bottoms. I think it's just a relief rally, but honestly, like, for marijuana and stuff like that, it shouldn't really do anything, in my opinion, until we get just a better feel here from the government on what they're going to do on a federal side of things, because we know stateside, and I don't know the exact number, but I think there's more states than not maybe right now, at least a lot of the bigger states that have allowed recreational cannabis. So that's not really going to be a play. It's going to be federal. It's going to be banking, charter, things like that need to come through here for some of these plays. So I'm not that excited about a 10% move, but at least it's 10% up, not 10% down. What's up, Neil? Yep. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, you asked about cannabis here, and I pop an icon just to look for the headlines, and literally the last thing it talks about is yesterday's downgrade. So I think you're absolutely right. It is just about a relief rally. I mean, I can open it up, but it's going to tell you Piper Sandler actually downgraded them. Of course, it's going to be a third-party site there. It's going to be Barron's. Was downgraded by Piper Sandler. Their sales trends were under pressure. The stock absolutely got crushed. But it looks like you said, it's just a relief rally. There was nothing new that I can see on the wire. So there you go. I once again caught Ms. V shopping. Rite Aid, again, and I'm going to keep saying it because Rite Aid keeps on doing it. Another high of the day, now up 23%. It just broke out. It was consolidating at 15. Yeah, this has been a big run for them after what wasn't necessarily the strongest earnings report, but a big reversal. And once the CEO got talking there, sort of about the boosters and about testing, Rite Aid's been on an absolute tear.
Rite Aid still going strong.
Ooh, look at Pfizer.
Putting in new highs here. Well, yeah, putting in new highs, but at the same time, it's just in that situation where until they take out 16, nothing has changed, right? We're either going to go short, and they're definitely not going to be today, but we can set something up for tomorrow. As long as you stay below this price point, I'm not going to go for the long just yet, but if we can set up a short, great. If we break the 16s, there's your long, but at least now it's on the radar. So that's something to pay attention to. Now, with this 23% move to the upside, it definitely becomes a stock to pay attention to around the 16 point as we reach that resistance level. And as I say that, though, we're going to go to Valeria.
Me shopping multiple times there. You already know it's Christmas time, and the best present for us would be if you like this video. We have 3,000 people watching and only 900 likes. Please, let's push them at least to 1,000. And if we get 1,500, it would be the best Christmas present you can give to us. So guys, please be kind. I hope you have that Christmas mood, Christmas tree already, and give us a like. Back to you guys.
So before we go on, yeah, thank you, Ms. V, and yeah, good luck on the shopping there. I hope you find some good deals as, yeah, I'm a little thrifty. I need to see something. Like, you know what, a store could easily get me. They just go normal price, put it up 20%, and then say 20% off, and I'm right there. Okay, so, you know, we did get a super chat, and I do apologize. First of all, Mark, the realtor, wants us to talk about DWAC, so maybe we can look at that. And then the other name that people want to talk about there is I just got out of something. I don't know what that was. What was that? Oh, ISPC. Guess what? 1530. So there it is. Yes, sir. We get that. We go what the on that one because there's our 1530 out. So now I'm going to do the smart thing and cancel my stop order now because we don't need it. So there it is. A nice out there. Good, well spotted from you guys, and we did take that trade. I thought it was maybe going to halt there for a second, but no, it has to move at least $1.50 from here to halt. So we need to take out at least that level. So we are now out, a good trade there, and now we're just getting out of some of our positions. And every time I go to talk about BlackBerry, something else happens. So BlackBerry up that 4% today. I am excited about earnings. Only 11 million shares, not that many, but we do know that BlackBerry can turn through 100 million shares, no problem. So we'll see if that can come through today or tonight, I guess, on the report. Maybe, Neil, is it tonight or is it tomorrow morning? I don't know if that really matters, but BlackBerry's made a nice bottom here at 8. So again, unless something comes out drastically here against them, which I don't really even know what they're doing anymore. So I don't know what they're really going to project moving forward. The good thing about BlackBerry is obviously they're a software company now. So, there could be some announcements. I know that they were talking about Amazon working with them, working with, I don't know if it's a Ford thing or not, but there might be something there with BlackBerry as well and some automotive. So we'll see there if anything about new partnerships, new deals. I actually like BlackBerry. I think it does have that chance to go. Let me just do my own little due diligence here. As we'll say, shout out to Michael Noss from Trade Ideas. And let's just call this open right now. I have a Trade Ideas account, and I think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of neat things here. So let's go Trade Ideas there, single stock window. And I'm going to just call up for you right now. You can see this live, how we do this. So let's go BB. That's BlackBerry right now. Not a big, and I sort of knew this, but I didn't want to say it. Only 6, because I wasn't sure. Only 6.5% short float. So that's not going to be what gets it going. I think what gets it going is the low price and then a surprise somewhere about something. And again, I know, how vague is that? But I don't know. I just think it can blow it to the upside here. We know it has that kind of love. Watch out for an $11. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a $10 call option end of week here on BlackBerry. So that's a name. And then did you want to go over DWAC? Do you have that up or not? Let's just call it up to see if that did move, because Mark, the realtor, has been a big supporter of us here with super chats and whatnot. So we'll go to Neil and my DWAC chart will load, and then we'll see.
A couple of things here. We're going to get to DWAC in a second. BlackBerry, there was news this morning, introduced a new managed extended detection and response, XDR service. I don't think that's moving the needle at all, like you said there, Sean. But DWAC, let me just quickly flip to it. There was no news. There was news yesterday on DWAC, and there was, oh, come on, now you're not going to load? So there was a volume spike, and this has more likely to attribute to some of what we were seeing going through name after name that was getting these quick little spikes to the upside, low floaters, and some short interest type names spiking up. And it looks like it might have just been online at it again with a spike into 52 and then immediately pulling back in. I didn't see any news come across the wire for DWAC other than yesterday. And it's coming right back as if nothing happened, but it was a massive volume spike there. This is one of the reasons why you got to be very careful chasing these relatively blindly. Like, it's one thing if the stock has momentum or has a bit of a catalyst behind it, or you get the move early, but you don't want to get caught buying those tops there up at 52. I know there's not a lot of resistance, and it has been consolidating for some breakout moves, but you want there to be a catalyst behind any of those moves. And you asked about when BlackBerry reports. It is aftermarket tonight. And no, I did not have that memorized. I turned and asked Ms. V, who had it at the tip of her tongue, because she did have it memorized. BlackBerry earnings.
All right, BlackBerry.
Guys,
If
I already said it.
Oh yeah, Valeria's trying to say something. You guys want to go back to Valeria? No?
I blame
All right,
Rob.
I guess we're talking about, you're going to see me instead of Valeria. I'm sorry about that, by the way. DWAC. Here's the thing with DWAC. It's gone sideways. Here's the daily chart on DWAC. It's completely dead, right? But at the same time, you've got to be aware of the fact that any single piece of news can send this stock to do what it did before, which was this little nuts of a move from 13 to 176, 75. What is the high there? 175 even. So all it takes is one piece of news, and this thing's going to just explode in volume. So just be aware that although it's dead, and intraday-wise, it may not be something that's you can trade every single day, but if it were to take off to the upside, it is going to go absolutely nuts. Either direction, most likely to the upside given the volume. Futures coming off a little bit here. Let's take a quick look at Boeing. It may double top. Again, we're protecting the trade south of 198.50. maybe this market comes off a little bit more. I was expecting this kind of a sell to happen anyways. We've been up so strong that there's been no actual profit-taking move to the downside just yet. So we are looking for some sort of a move. As Swan is back in the desk here, back on the seat beside me here, as I think he's planning something. He's looking at DWAC, I think. He might be planning something to take a trade or something like that. But here we are looking at Boeing protecting the profits, futures coming off south of 30. But this is a good thing because remember, we cleared the resistance zone that I was worried about, which was around that 25 area. Now we're north of 30. Coming back in would be a great thing because it provides an opportunity for a potential trade. That's what I'm looking for. It may not be today, but at some point there's going to be a trade, whether it's tomorrow or the day after. There's going to be a trade here where you can go for the long with 90 as the stop. After we took out 25, I moved 90 as the next level. So I am looking for potential longs as long as we can get it set up. I'm good to go on the long side. We just need to set it up. And this selling, like I mentioned, it's a good thing to have, especially as we get towards the end of the day. Because I think if this market were to extend even higher without any selling at all, then you have a problem where at what point do people start taking profit? For intraday traders, at what point do they start taking profit if this market just keeps going up? They're not going to take profit, which creates an kind of a vacuum effect if someone were to sell, right? So selling now helps the situation for longs for tomorrow or for Thursday. One?
I'm looking at Macy's.
Well,
Macy's Day Parade. They've reported that lots of inventory. CEO says the warehouses are full. Not a bad chart. Like, look at this.
So what are you going to do about it?
I don't know. Volume's kind of there. Should we go long? What's long here?
No comment?
No comment. No, it was nice spread today. 4%, 5% on the day. Like, not a bad play. For retail sectors up across the board for the most part.
Where would you go long and where would you put your stop? Like, what's your logic on this?
Interest.
I know, Neil told me. The short interest is pretty steep. Nah.
So
not the spread.
This is the decision making of Swan here. He's gonna. You're not gonna take it.
Where would you go?
Where would I go? I wouldn't. Macy's. I haven't even looked at that chart. Okay, so this is what.
Not much of a spread.
Well,
volume's a little thin, but
it's Macy's is one of those big names where it's gonna always have like a 1 cent.
Strong retail numbers for this quarter.
All right.
Warehouses are full.
Upside, you got a ton of resistance. I wouldn't. You're looking for longs, right?
Yep.
Maybe if we clear 26s is where I would go for longs. But for the time being, I'm just gonna wait it out. And Swan and Sean duke it out on making sure that Swan doesn't take unnecessary positions on Sean's account. But here we are waiting. Futures coming off. Oh, wow, okay. Futures coming off here south of 25. The selling is starting to accelerate here as we get closer to the end of the day. Kind of makes sense, but at the same time, how much deeper is this going to go? Because I do worry about the support levels down below. We are hitting some support here around 25. That's where the initial long would have been if I had stepped in earlier. We might get some more support down below 20, close to 21. I don't know. I might pick up a long here, actually, on a dip, just to see if we can actually get a kind of a flush down with a move up top after anyone who needs to sell has gotten out. Sean, you are back.
I went to refill my water. Next thing I know, I'm being replaced around here. So I didn't even think that was possible, but I guess it is. So Randy was looking at Macy's there. I like Macy's, other than the fact that, again, just they had that monster run up. I don't even know. Here's my daily chart right here. They had that big run up on some catalyst there that they wanted to break the company up into some digital aspects as well, and almost like just separate the company, almost spin off their online division. So it was a monster move to the upside, and now you're pulling back in. And actually, guys, at this level, honestly, thank you, whoever that was in my seat. I keep going to call him Randy, but now people want me to call him Swan.
He is.
But you can see right here, I actually like Macy's to go here. I'm honestly thinking, and we'll talk about. SoFi's got me the most interested out of most of these names. We will talk about, our areas to look at. We might not do like a stock specific show for 2022, but I really think SoFi has a good chance to have just a banner year. SoFi down near the bottom here. We've actually saw, what was that other stock that came out new? I think that was another one. Yeah, so this was apparently the South American version. Warren Buffett had some money in this name. And of course, why is it only showing one day here, but it's been more than one day for this name. But here it is. Yeah, it's not acting like it is. But again, $9.10. It didn't come up. I have to figure out these charts, but NU was another name there in the banking space that was pretty good. I did want to look at Pfizer. And again, because of this move, look where we wound up getting out. So there's Pfizer, a nice little move down. Remember why we were long? And again, this is what it's all about as a day trader, right? Is that make your plays based on some kind of a reason. We went long because of Biden. Whether or not that was a stupid reason or not, looks like it was fine because we were able to cash out. So we made some money on Pfizer. We just stack up the cash there on that play. And then we noticed that the market was failing and we got out. We didn't even let it break 59. So in and out there on Pfizer. Looks like that wasn't a good out. You don't see me in that position anymore. Mogo. I mean, honestly, people asking for where my targets are. You have 2 minutes now until the imbalances come out. So I think Mogo, honestly, if I can just get this in here, we'll take it out. But hopefully there's some sort of a bid imbalance. I doubt it. I'm not holding out for that. And then AMC, it's just bouncing around, man. It had a hard time at 60 this time. So I don't know. Let's see if that can get going. I'm here in the 80s. We've talked about 70s. So we'll see if that can happen. Right now, I'm excited for AMC. These are the only positions we have on right now. Microsoft up 2%. Nvidia bouncing off that 290.
I just dumped my Boeing position as well. So we're going to lock in about $8 and change. Boeing breaking that 198.50 before these imbalances come out in about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes or so. So at this point, if we were higher, if we were at 199, I'd take the risk of holding until these imbalances came out. But the fact that we finally broke some support, I don't need to take the risk. Why hold out hope that we get a nice little pop to the upside when I can just take out the cash? In the event, imagine what happens in the event that we actually get a sell move, right? If these imbalances came out to the sell side, we're gonna go right through to 197.50. So I'd rather avoid that mess and just kind of focus in on other things, maybe on the futures, I don't know. The way it's moving down, at some point we're gonna have to lose this to the downside. So maybe a long could be on deck. We're going to keep an eye on the futures. I'll get a little bit more aggressive towards the end of the day as we move further down on the futures. The market's up decently. So let's set up the imbalance locator, though. Here we are moving through the imbalance locator. I'll have this. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'll take it over for a bit here. We will do that in case there is something on the imbalances. I want to see that be taken, and I know it's something, an actionable event. Mogo, I just put an order here at 57. If that gets taken out, that's great. Apple might be something on the imbalance locator as well. So we'll see if Apple wants to do anything to the upside. This is the locator that Arun's talking about. It's going to fill up here very, very soon in only 15 seconds. This is all going to fill up. You see a lot of these times. Don't worry about any of these stocks. They're going to come through right now at 350. We'll sort it by size, and then we'll be able to see what is popping out. So here's the symbol. We'll check it out up here as it comes through. So let's watch out. I'm hoping AMC is like a ridiculous buy here. What? EDU, that's a Chinese education name. 9.5 million shares to sell. You're seeing Apple here. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's see what this wants to do. Do we even see Apple on this list? We see Palantir down there as a sell. Not doing anything. BAC. Bank sell. So bank's another interesting spot. We'll talk about banks later. But, again, a sell, but BAC starting to go upside. Marvell's been on there like a lot lately. They came out with a banger report about last week, I think. That's a big name for a big bid. And you can see where that one went all the way up to from 88, 85, 84, all the way up to 86.80 there, or 86.08 actually. Other than that, man, I don't see much on there. There's a lot of people like to talk about Lucid. So Lucid on a little bit of a bid there from 38, ripped up to 20 or so there on that bid. Other than that, man, I don't see much. I don't see BlackBerry on here. Now, Oracle, we've talked about Oracle today a little bit as well, actually, in the open show. Oracle with a buy. So, yeah, I don't want to waste too much more time on this, but there it is. Look at Oracle. So here's where the balance comes out. This is 350 down here, 91.27, and there's the move up. So it's a false move up because all of these will get paired off, but that's just the market move, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea there where we're going. So I don't know if you saw anything that interests you there, Arun, but that's that.
It's the EDU. The volume on EDU is nuts. It's done 15 million shares on the day, and it's got a 9.5 million share imbalance. If this number were to hold after 355 when the next update comes in, it's going to be there could be a move here, especially with the range being 7 cents. 7 cents is wide, but think about what you can do with it. You can take, I want to say, you can easily have 100,000 shares. You can probably take about 300,000 shares on the bid. By wiping out the bid, you can probably get 300,000 shares all it needs to go is a couple pennies and you're doing all right. So EDU on the sell side here, 9.5. We'll wait for it as it comes through. 355 is when the update happens. And this is exactly what I was looking at, right? Futures, it was heading to the downside. I'm like, at some point, there's got to be, a buyback after the selling is done, profit-taking selling is done. Here you go, up to the upside we go. From 24 or so, here we are at 30. So a nice little 6-point move to the upside and moving strong. So we're just going to keep an eye on these numbers. VTRS is number 2 on the list here on these imbalances. I've got no other position, so this is what I'm going to do. It looks like Boeing may have come out positive as well, but that's okay, whatever. I mean, I walked away with $8 on Boeing. VTRS, 2 million shares sell side, 7.3 million done on the day with a range of 50 cents. Actually, that's actually pretty interesting too. 2 million shares on a 7.5 million share a day. That could be actionable if there's a trade there, or if there's some, if this number were to hold after. Again, 55 is like the big checkpoint. That's when you get updated numbers for these imbalances from the D quotes that are inserted from the floor. So when we get that number, and this number, let's just say EDU were 9.5 to sell right now, and it got smaller by just a little bit, then you could tell that there's no one offsetting it from the floor orders, right? If this number were to just completely disappear, then clearly someone's willing to offset the sell side, at which point this trade's gone. You just gotta wait to see what the 355 update brings, and hopefully it brings something that we can actually work with. Now, it's been a while since I've kind of played this game towards the end of the day, but I mean, EDU is one of those names that you just pay attention to, and maybe we get some action. Otherwise, we just stay away. I'm flat. Boeing's back above 199, futures back above 46.30, and we are waiting for an update from the 355 imbalance update. Neil? It's not Neil? Then who's calling it?
It's me, Svi Arun, and I just wanted to give my congrats to all the Trader TV Live team and to all of you guys, because since the first day we started to stream on YouTube, we hit 20 million views. Yoo-hoo! And as our tweet says, we couldn't have done it without you, amazing viewers. Thank you so much for that, guys. We love you, and we wish to all of us to get many more millions of views, likes, and subscribers. Back to you guys.
Yes, 20 million. I mean, really super happy with that. Thank you, guys. I mean, we've worked pretty hard, very hard, I should say. Let's not discount some of the work that we've done here. And I want to give a big thank you to you, because if you're not sitting there watching this, then, I mean, honestly, we wouldn't be where we are. So I want to give a big thank you to everybody out there. Blue Light Sean, yeah, Blue Light Swan, someone just wrote there in the chat. What is going on? The problem is, man, we're never going to live that down now. And it was, I got to credit Miss V, right? She's the one that put the swan in the message there about voting who's going to do the trade of the day. SoFi, we just got out of that one at 14.93 there. Whatever, it barcoded all afternoon. I mean, we should have been buying down in here. We'll look to do that tomorrow. But this is kind of as expected with the markets closing. What day is today? Tuesday. So we only have 2 more days before Christmas. So a big rally today, man. A nice rally here into the close, taking out day's high on the NASDAQ. Remember when we left, I was like, it's the Santa Claus rally is here, man. And there it is. It's here all day. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. I know you are too, Arun. So congratulations for a big day for us. Nike was a great trade. It was my trade of the day today. And really, it was just because often I'm not very patient. And today we were. So we hit that Nike trade. And then there's the last out there breaking that view up, which was a good trade for me, about 250 or so on that trade. AMD continues to work. Pay safe, back to the upside there. HUT, I've been talking about HUT. I really like HUT we could do this. We haven't really looked at crypto yet today. So let's quickly do that. Here is my portfolio in crypto. So we'll look at this. Where is portfolio? There it is right now. And we'll just look to see here. I don't have the weightings on, but you could see Solana, a nice move up. This is over the last 7 days. So actually, I don't know if that's right. Hold on a second. Let me refresh that. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. The moves are just recent. It has been a 7-day washout on a lot of these cryptos. So Avalanche is a new name that we're looking at. I don't think these percentages are right. So let's not look at that. But Cardano struggling still at 126. Hopefully that can get going. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu battling 12 and 13 overall in the market cap, taking it out. Not much happening today, but still some nice rebounds. I love Matic, what Matic's been doing. in the NFT space. I really like that. Stellar Looms as well for transferring over of some money. So there's a few things here, but Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's nice to see Ethereum catching 4K right now. So that's nice. Hopefully that can stay above 4K. Luna up 100% in a month. I don't have every single one of these cryptocurrencies in my portfolio, but I do hold a decent amount of them. HUT. So, and again, Cardano's really the one that I'm most happy with, but that's because we're long in the pennies on that name. So we should have got more out at $3. But here's HUT 8. Again, into the mining, they're going to go with some of those altcoins a little bit more than Bitcoin or Ethereum. So if you did want to get anything, we'll talk about this with Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary coming in a week. A week today, he'll be sitting here. Maybe he'll sit in my spot. No, actually he's not in the building, I don't think, anyways. I'm pretty sure it's going to be remote, but we'll talk to him about watches. Let me know. Tweet at me any questions for Kevin O'Leary, but he mentioned the last time he was on HUT. So I'm going to talk to him about that. We're at a nice level here if you want to pick anything up. HUT 8, Mara, Riot, some of the blockchain names to be played around with there. We also had Sam Bankman-Fried on, the CEO of FTX. So I also saw he was on Jim Cramer's Mad Money yesterday, and that was an interesting interview as well. Ours, of course, was better. You could check that out. About 2 weeks ago, he was on with all of us, and we had a nice talk with Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. So go find that on our page.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at EDU, that sell side imbalance. Wow, okay, it's still there. It never really got any smaller. It's still, now it's at 7 million shares, but again, we're right back at that 211, 212. It was creeping higher, almost like it was going to change directions, but then as soon as it came out, it stayed the right way or stayed the same way it came out, and it stayed somewhat similar in size. It just completely fell off. And think about it, at the end of the day, you don't need to make a ton of pennies. You just need to get the amount of shares, and you can get some shares on this thing. And with the 7 million share imbalance, as we get closer, we're about a minute, just over a minute before we get to the end of the day here. You're going to start to see this. This should start getting smaller. And as this gets smaller, this should start disappearing. The bid should start going. So even if this goes a penny, if you take enough shares, that could be a nice chunk of change here. If it goes 1 or 2 pennies and takes out the bid, you're going to get a nice little move to the downside, a nice little print. So market on close, get the print at the end of the day, as long as we take out the bids here, as this sits at 6.8 million shares. No, it's going to the upside. There you go. This is the danger too. When these imbalances, as we get near the end of the day, you see that EDU just completely reversed. It's gone. It just disappeared. So somebody came in and offset the entire thing, and this decided to pop from 211, now sitting at 213 on the offer, which is about to go. So that's what you gotta watch.
Oh shoot! I didn't even notice the time.
Yeah, you're.
I'm just sitting here just chilling.
I'm gonna hit the countdown in about 8 seconds. Because we're about to close up shop here as the futures are now breaking through.
That's hilarious.
40s now. Here we are. Oh, I'm a little early. Damn, why can't I get that right? I was so close. I'm off by 1 second. I'm 1 second early now as we get to the end of the day.
1, hit it. My doppelganger hitting it right there. So thank you to that. At Trader TV Randy. So you can find him out there. And what a big day it was. Thank you for I was literally just looking at the chat and talking there and looking at Twitter and responding. Thank you for all the nice comments as well. At Trader TV Sean on Twitter. It was a fantastic day. We are now flat. I'm pretty happy with the movements today. Obviously, we're always looking for better. I can't believe I dumped that Nvidia. We were long all day and I was like, didn't even make any money on it. But that's fine. Hit the like button. There he is at Trader TV Randy. What's up, my man? Neil, though, how did we wind up today? It looks like the markets and old Santa Claus has come to town.
Yeah, you better believe he has. It's we're up across the board, as you already know, guys. It's 2.3% is the NASDAQ, and that's the big number here, ending on highs, near highs of the day. The TSX looking pretty strong. I mean, crude's been at 4%, but the Dow lagging just a little bit here. But it's all about that tech. It's all about that boom. It's all about that Santa Claus rally. Hopefully, that will extend the rest of the week. It's been a heck of a lot of fun here. The best comment, I don't know if you guys said it out loud, but someone in the chat, or at least someone in the chat said, when Brendan is away, all hell breaks loose. That is certainly true. I don't think it was that crazy here today. Wait till you see what happens on Thursday.
Oh boy.
I mean, I almost think I don't know what the show's like when I'm not here. I mean, I do watch it, but Brendan, It's quieter, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I thought like when I'm here, all hell does break loose. But Brendan, yeah, he doesn't really police us as much, I don't think, as everybody thinks.
No, Brendan just tunes everybody out. That's the simple answer.
I think you're getting better at that. You used to be like, remember, you're who cares? You've coined that, but now I seem to think that you're much more active with our viewers, and I want to thank you for that because they love you, Arun. So Arun back tomorrow. And back on Thursday.
But you know what? You guys were talking
and back all next week.
That's right. But you guys were talking about Christmas sweaters. I think I got an idea. I don't have a Christmas sweater, but I can make one. I think you guys will like it.
I'll also give you a pass if you wear a hat, like a Christmas hat, some elf ears, Rudolph,
No, I'm wearing the sweater.
something like that, red nose. He's wearing a sweater. Okay. Yeah, so join us on Thursday. On Thursday, it should be a good one there, as this is the cap of my pen as it goes flying there. It was such a great show. I want to thank Miss V over there on the desk. And congratulations on your watch. Absolutely fantastic purchase. I'm glad that you did that. I'm sure it will appreciate in value. And a big thank you to both Randy for filling in and for Rob for fixing it up and putting the Santa Claus on my board there. And of course, Lucas, as you can see, the only one really working there. Thank you so much to Lucas. Trader Pratt booked out, as we saw early. No idea why, but he's gone. But I want to give a big thank you to Trader Pratt as well for that Market Movers show. So, hey, it was a good one. A few NFL games today. It's Rams. Who do the Rams play? I can't even remember now.
Washington plays tonight.
Yeah, Washington plays. No Heineke. COVID running rampant right now in the NFL.
Tyreek Hill has COVID.
Right. Who does?
Tyreek Hill's on the COVID list.
Tyreek Hill. Kelsey, too, I thought.
I got Mahomes, man. It's not
Yeah,
good.
but Mahomes, the problem is, Neil, they better say that Mahomes has it right now so that he can play next week, because you don't want him to get it at the end of the week, because then you're screwed. But anyways, who cares? Let's just move forward. Thank you to everybody today. It's been a great one. Wait for the trade of the day. It's going to be Nike by yours truly. Tomorrow's trade of the day, the man beside me. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you in the AM. Ciao.